そうだ、味方だぜ。
Hello, and welcome everyone to D6, where I, am bringing together several friends from all across the internet to play on a D&D live stream show. As usual, tonight is always brought to you by our amazing patrons over on Patreon. If you guys are interested in ever wanting to become a patron and helping support the show or anything that I do, then by all means, please go check it out. There is always a link down below, and if you are interested in being able to catch up on any of the former D6 episodes that you have not been able to catch up on, please, links down below to the YouTube channel as well. Amazingly enough, I've been hearing a lot of the comments where it seems like the show has become fairly good entertainment and very good, a good distraction, especially during this time. And also, today, being Mother's Day, I want to say thank you to all of our mothers that help support us and just be absolute amazing people to us. And I do want to give a thank you to my mother in specific, Alicia, who is, while complicated in many ways, our love for Star Wars, our love for our love for just like the general theater has become such a huge connection point between me and my mother through many difficult times, and that will always matter to me. So find something that matters to you and your mother, hold on to that, because sometimes you may not be able to see them, like myself. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you moms everywhere for Mother's Day. And with that being said, let's go ahead, jump on into tonight's announcements. So everybody, wise, from your grave.
From your grave.
Good evening.
All right. Hey, speaking of Patreon, hey, there's a new public update on the Patreon if you guys want to go and read it. Found out, and I lost track at some point, we post like 11 videos in the past month, which I think is always an amazing thing to me, at least personally, as an individual, and 5 of them are from D6. Hey, that's pretty awesome. Yes, so if you guys have not been able to catch up on D6, or if you are watching D6 as it comes out on YouTube, it comes out Saturday, 9 a.m., first thing in the morning. I know I didn't tweet out last week. Just lost time because, well, yesterday was my birthday. I turned 26. So, yeah. So hey, if you guys want to go read the update, get a general idea of what's going to be happening. We look back at last month. We're going to be looking forward to this month. I really look forward to everything that's going to be happening relatively soon. On that note, there will hopefully be a video this Friday. I'm not exactly sure, but also on top of that, I'm making an announcement about an announcement for Twitter on Friday. It involves Joe Cat. So if you guys are interested, keep a lookout for me and Joe Cat. We're going to be making an announcement this Friday. And if you're an artist, it might be very important to you. So everyone here in the chat as well. Yeah, it's gonna be something that will be wholehearted, and we've been looking. I'm looking forward to doing something like this, and the fact that Joe agreed to it is exciting to me. So if you guys are looking forward to something like that, hey, watch out next week on Friday. Keep your eyes open on Twitter. Okay. Last announcement, this coming from me. Over on my YouTube community page, in case anybody that ever has any questions for me, or rather if we have a theme kind of going on, I do a series of videos called Ask Shienpai, and this month, hopefully, because we did one on Wednesday, this month we'll be talking about the most infamous dog on the show. It is Banjo. If you have 1.5 million questions about my dog, please do ask them, because I have wonderful stories about him, how I got him, how he is the most infamous dog in voice acting ever, and also just like somebody already like posted something about like him having an opinion on my streams because he does bark during the streams, which is super amazing. So if you guys are interested, go to my personal YouTube channel, go to the community page. It'll be the top post with a picture of Banjo, and ask your Banjo questions, or ask a general dog question. I don't know. I worked with dogs for a while, so I'm a little proud about that. All right, so that's everything for me. That's all I have to say. I got nothing else. As usual, go around the table. Boo, how you know?
Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm taking this week off. Like, I'm not working on any commissions at all, so I got some streams planned. Gonna be streaming some original content, probably some fan art stuff, whatever else comes into mind, but you can definitely expect something all this week at Twitch TV/Boo Radley. I'll open for commissions again later this week, but I'm just gonna take the time off and celebrate my birthday this Friday. So yeah.
Hey,
Birthday boy.
so
The
many
birthday
May
boy.
birthdays.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got. So, Bracky, what's up?
Hi, I'm Bracky, aka Bracky Sword. I play River the Halfling Fighter. On my end, don't really have much to say other than I stream games and art at twitch.tv/BrackySoid. I am obsessed with Persona 5 Royale, so that's going to be there for a bit. If you want to share anything regarding the campaign, like art, comments on the such, you can do so on Twitter by using the hashtag D6DR. tagging, and you can tag us using our Twitter handles, which you can find underneath our characters' names.
Yeah.
I believe that's going to be it for me.
All right, Caitlin.
Hi. Hi, I'm Caitlin C37. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Caitlin C37, where I do art. Commissions are currently closed, but if you want to find any of the information, you can find all that on my Twitter. And then if you want to watch me do those commissions, rather, you can find me on my Twitch. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/sir_Malarvik. You'll find me streaming a variety of games. I have a hard time sticking to one at the time, though. And my internet decides to be a bitch from time to time. So, that's a crapshoot. But in any case, that's all for me. I think Zito next?
Yeah.
Hey. You can find me over at twitch.tv/Zito. Indie games happen, art happens, sprite work happens, making Rivals of Aether characters sometimes happens. Now that Killer Bean has a fucking new episode or something Killer Bean related, that's what I'll be doing on Monday. Because, goddamn, I'm not letting that skip by. You could also, if you haven't purchased any of my homebrew stuff on DM's Guild and you're looking to expand your dumb nonsense in homebrew chicanery, currently right now, from now until the 15th, so in 5 days, DM's Guild is doing a pay-it-forward thing where from now until the 15th, if you purchase anything from any of your creators, they get 100% of the royalties instead of the usual 50%.
Hey.
That would be super awesome and beneficial. Oh, and DM's Guild, nonsense-wise, working on Fawn. No big deal.
It's coming.
Yeah.
The circle will be closed, because goddamn it, I fucking want this thing out.
I can finally play Pan from Pan's Labyrinth.
You could, or you could either be... So, think of it this way. You have one of two options. Either you're Mr. Tummus, or you're Allura from fucking Spyro the Dragon.
Oh,
Allura,
I know
easy.
both. I know both, but I kind of like Allura a little more.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter, because you get 2 sub-races for both those options. You get the Material Realm ones, which is the Mr. Tummus ones, and the Feywild ones, which are the Allura ones.
The superior ones.
Exactly.
Superior, yet none of the artists I commissioned want to draw them.
The cowards.
Jesus.
They're simply weak-minded.
They do not want, therefore
That's
do
me.
not have. All right. Slight
Dry
announcement.
still out.
Yeah, Dry is out again this week. Mainly his work. He'll be back, I think, next week.
I think so.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week. So we'll be seeing Dry then. And as always, love you, man. All right. So, I believe that is everything. All right.
Yes.
So, where we had last left off, as our adventurers had returned back from what is the Great Sheer Mesa, after fighting against a red dragon, meeting the reborn goddess of magic, and having an existential crisis on cards. We return back to Aurario and settle just for a day before being invited out and also taking care of a now red dragon egg, which is slowly warming the room of Canis's house, and receiving a letter to the Spring Ball, which is a multi-seasonal event that happens ever so rarely, or happens every season, and the invites are rare. However, in light of Canis's recent achievements and amassing knowledge about what had happened in Lycia's Bay, had led to an invitation to meeting none other than the king himself of Alanon, and thus imbuing what is possibly his blessing of a potential royal marriage between the Matilius house and the Alanon house. So after that meeting and a ongoing party, everyone is having a hopefully good time, and then subsequently a little bit of spying, a little bit of back and forth between Helena and the Vizier of Vale, and then of course the reveal of the king's daughter as she opens with the main event of the ball with her music and singing, which just absolutely enamors an entire room. It seems like your eyes just don't break away from her during her entire performance, and it is the voice of an elven angel. It is definitely...
Did I stutter?
Are you actual counter spelling?
This feels like charm shenanigans. I'm counterspelling. Unless you tell me right now it's fluff, I am dead serious.
It is. No, it's definitely fluff. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
No, I'm not trying to kill you at a ball, man.
No, listen. This is listen. In my experience, in my defense, that same exact fucking like hypochondriac fucking shenanigans I just pulled right now, that happened to me in a previous game.
That's fair.
Was it? Which game was it?
So no, like when I was back in 3.5, someone had an elf who was singing opera for everyone, and no one bothered to be like, "Yo, is this a charm effect?"
Oh no!
Can I make a will save to disbelieve?
Yeah, I'm like, can I insight this, please?
Yeah. Whoops. So.
She sounds kind of flat.
Flat. Yeah, that's the counter spell. Flat.
So, as the performance dies and she finishes her song, the princess gives a slight bow, and everyone returns back to the fantastic festivities, as now the king is going around the ballroom, approaching everyone and giving thanks to them coming here. So, what do you guys do?
We interacting with the king, or still just like doing our own thing?
You could do your own thing. It's totally up to you with what you guys decide to do. If you want to end tonight, that's fine.
Garo does have someone in mind. He still wants to like talk to the other Dragonborn, like over there. Like, as he's being led to.
So, your conversation with none other than Jerimiah Gerorge. So, as you finishing up watching or listening to this magnificent song of ancient elven words, as you break away and proceed backward onto the route of meeting what is possibly other Dragonborns. As you finally approach, you see none other than, or you hear and feel the presence of none other than Tobias Algrave, and what seems to be several different figures, much like him, only slightly different forms based off of their aura and the way that their presentation comes off of. And there is one that is slightly more bigger and not violent, but definitely ever present in the same group, only this time it looks humanoid. It feels humanoid, and the form in its aura looks humanoid.
Turning to the other copper dragon that led him there. So, those are the other types of our kind, yes?
Oh yes, the nature of all of us are slightly different depending on, who we decided, or who our parents decided to copulate with.
Ah, I see. Is there any kind of customs I need to be aware of? And if it's possible, could you introduce me? I'm not really used to interacting with other people of my kind.
Well, let's see. It seems like a majority of them are currently very busy speaking with the High Lord. So if you want to try and meet with any of them, try and see when they're a little bit free during the night. I personally have no qualms with having a conversation with any of our kind. As per traditions, I would say nothing absolutely special. Just try to acknowledge your place among the ranks, depending on. Well, actually, you're not even from a house, if I remember correctly. You were saying that you were from Yimnan.
Yes, all the way up into the west.
Well, I guess as far as we're aware, I mean, you're not even part of a house. It'd be hard to kind of
literally
glean.
just tell him to check his privilege.
Yeah, he called him a peasant.
Yeah.
There are houses?
Yes. Well, every Dragonborn comes from a very particular house of statue. So, certain status and statue, and depending on where you are within the limits of the city of Dracovania, it can determine whether you're a soldier, or if you are a merchant, or if you're one of the royal guard, or a royal advisor like myself.
Wow, that seems quite complicated. I'm not really sure what house I belong to. What do you think? Give me honest opinions, yes?
I don't think you're part of a royal house at all, or a house to begin with.
You're a fucking peasant.
I would say.
Smell like poor people.
I would say you're not what one would consider squalid. I would say
But I
that
lack
you.
the stench of the bourgeois, yes?
It hurts me every time you pronounce it that way.
I will never stop. I guess I definitely do need an introduction, yes? Just a little bit.
Depends on how you wish to present yourself as an introduction. Are you perhaps a diplomat of where you're from?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, not technically yet, but the monks that I'm a part of, they tend to be diplomats on behalf of Yinmin, the monks of Kali. Have you heard of them?
Ever so rarely. It's there. They don't come up too often amongst the table within the royal house. I mean, probably once or twice in the past century have they been present.
Then I suppose this is an excellent chance to introduce myself, then.
I suppose
On behalf
so.
of Yinmin.
That could be a possibility.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to learn more. And he's just gonna patiently wait for the commotion to die down, but just hang around.
All right.
Also sip on some punch and see how the night goes.
All right. So, what about the rest of you guys?
I guess mingling.
Going? All right.
Yeah, Lionel's done with wizards. He's just gonna go fuck around. If someone wants to talk to him, that's their prerogative.
I don't recall if we talked to Canis after he talked to Mr. King.
Briefly, but Helena is going to go back towards the group, and she is gonna kind of give Candace almost a little bit of a troubled side glance, almost.
What's wrong?
Are there people dancing?
There are a few who are playing along with the music in the ballroom.
Where's the Vizier looking right now?
Make a perception check, since there are a lot of people moving in and around.
17.
17? From across the room, you can see the general pulled back white hair and the slight undertoned eyes that kind of just pierce through these blue piercing eyes, and his outfit being as, you know, one of royal stature in the way that he presents himself here. He's kind of just like, his eyes are kind of looking around. He looks bored, if not annoyed.
Candace is gonna, or sorry, Helena's gonna elbow Candace, and she's gonna say dance.
Alright.
And she's gonna pull him out on the dance floor. And she's gonna make sure that her back is towards the Vizier, but she's gonna say to him, "So that man was watching you for some reason."
Do you know who he is?
No, just the Vizier. Plot had said that you'd seen him before.
This was the guy that was following Lycilia earlier tonight, right?
Yeah.
I haven't the faintest why he would be eyeing me.
Oh, apparently the music is overpowering us.
Oh.
Apparently they can't hear me very well.
We need to yell.
We have to yell! Look how loud I have to yell!
What?
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 Here.
He's just screaming this right next to the
turned-
dragonborn
Speak
all
up,
the
I'm
way
not
to the
wearing
other
any
side.
pants.
I turned you up about 5%.
Alright.
Is that better, chat?
Is that better, chat?
They're saying the music is overpowering a bit too.
Yeah. I turned it down a bit.
Yeah, like, remember delay, so now we have to wait and see what people say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. There's a good delay on it. Well, in the meantime,
In the meantime,
Alright.
seems better? Okay.
alright.
But yeah, that was the dude of Lycia Bay.
No, that was the dude that you guys met at
Queen of Hell's entourage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
the
don't
faintest why he would be after me.
I don't necessarily know if he's after you, but we exchanged some words, and he's very unpleasant, to say the least. But at one point, he just looked at you and just said, "Interesting." And frankly, anything he finds interesting worries me, and the fact that it's you has me worried.
Do you think he might know something that we don't?
I don't know. Did anything happen while you were with the king?
Besides him informing me that he wants me to be one of his daughter's suitors, no. That may be what he knows.
Helena's eyebrows like shoot up. She kind of gives like a Cheshire Cat smile. Ah.
Actively has to push her eyebrows down with her fingers.
What is that? And what does that O mean?
Well, I mean, if that was the pretty little thing that was singing earlier, that's not a bad choice, I'd say. And what do you think?
I think that I don't like being forced into things.
Do you absolutely have to?
Considering the King of Arario is the one who has access to that armor that we need, I may have to go through with this. The King also thinks he won't survive a war. And that is what is coming up.
What about your charming little friend? As she says, as she kind of motions her head towards the Queen of Vale.
What about her?
Well, I mean, she is a queen. Would she be willing to help in this war? Like, how bad does he think it's going to be?
He thinks everyone is going to attack in random directions because they don't know who is responsible for Lycia Bay. And I doubt they'd believe us after we tell them who it was.
Well, sounds like you really need to get that Lycia, or Lycerian.
Lemurian.
Yes.
Lemurian, yeah, sorry, thank you. Sounds like you really need to get that Lemurian lake. Did you manage to get the permission?
I did. We simply have to consult the man in charge of it.
And what about the armor?
It didn't come up, but considering I could potentially become king, it wouldn't be an issue.
She gives him a light swat on the shoulder. Gosh darn it, Canis, we need that. We should probably ask sooner than later. He might not croak. At least that's a hopeful idea.
Fair.
Well, anyway. Just wanted to warn you to keep your eye out. Alright?
Thank you for the insight.
Helena just kind of does a light twirl away and she curtsies at him.
Alright. So you both bow in what looks like to be the center of the ballroom as everyone now begins to switch partners. You guys proceed onward with the night's proceedings. Anybody else want to do anything?
Unless someone's coming to Lionel's just gonna go, like, just wander around and... Oh, food? Hell yeah, let me in on that. There's a little rat now sitting on the table, eating food.
Time for me to cause problems on purpose.
Yep, yep, here I go.
Have you tried these little things wrapped in bread? They're pretty good.
Yo, do you guys see these things called hors d'oeuvres?
Also, what? No, they have an entire pig here.
This punch bowl's as big as me.
As what looks like to be Arvello approaching the two of you, currently small little gremlins on top of a pristine white table as people are kind of just like shuffling slightly away. They're standing, Arvello.
Yeah, me too.
As Arvello's standing there in his beautiful blue wizard's robes of the night and is like, "My, what are you two doing?"
Having
Eating.
food.
I can see that, but on the table. Like, you physically on top of the table.
I have to get up here to get the food. I am only 3 feet tall.
I'm 2 something, and
Fair enough. As he turns around and he sits on top of the table with you guys.
not to mention those those kids over there.
Yeah,
took
we're
all the
trendsetters.
chairs. So we're
Fuck
taking
yeah.
risks.
So, where have you all been as of late? I'm a little curious, mainly because, well, you guys have frequented my shop, and I've come to like all of you so gracefully.
But globetrotting.
It's a long story. Remember the thing that's been spying on us?
Oh, yes?
Well, we managed to take off the thing, as I told you before, and we are now a little more relaxed, so Yeah, just in a bit of a.
We stole their scrying stuff, and now we're scrying on them. It's a whole rigmarole, and it's fantastic.
Not to mention, now we find ourselves in a bit of a treasure hunt. So,
Any place in particular that you're looking for that said treasure? I might even go with you.
well, let me take a look at the list. What do I put it?
I'm gonna actually roll insight on that.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I want to come with you on this treasure hunt. Why? One moment, let me get my dice.
He clearly wants treasure.
Yeah, no, he clearly wants the treasure that we want. Bitch, no.
He's just gonna Indiana Jones us and have a bunch of the natives start shooting at us.
That's what I'm fucking thinking. 17.
17. As far as you can tell, his intentions are extremely pure. Considering that he himself is a bit of a traveler, since you've known him from Yemen, he goes from place to place just to kind of expand his world views, and then if he manages to find something really cool, he'll buy it and then bring it back to his shop. It's kind of his business model.
Okay, so
I do have a question, Mr. Arbilla.
Oh yes.
What did I buy from you last time I went to your shop?
It was an amulet for proof against detection.
Very well. Okie it's out. Sorry, it was either I was asking you something or stabbing you with this fork.
Listen, I get it. You guys are high stress. You have a lot of knives in your back. I simply only ask mainly because I'm trying to get out a bit more. It's been a while.
Hold on. What was? I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a look at the map real quick because I want to remember which thing we were looking for.
One was in the wildlands or the wild beast, whatever the heck it was.
There's
Yeah, the Beastlands or something?
There was the Beastlands, another one was in the Shadowfell.
Two of them in Holding Guard.
All right, so I'm going to tell him about the stuff that's extra planar. So I'm just going to tell him like all the locations that we have to look for this stuff.
Shadowfell and the Beastlands are the only ones extra planar.
Yep. If you're looking for something a little less mundane and grounded in the material, that's what we're looking for.
Do you happen to have any means of transportation?
I don't have means of transportation, but recently, and I mean actually very recently, I came across a very particular item within my shop that will allow me to open a portal that will get us properly shift from one place to another. This took a lot of money and a lot of time for it to actually get to me. It's a very rare particular item. Anyways, it will allow me to shift planes once a day.
Huh.
We kind of need that. We kind of need that.
How many people can you take with you?
Up to, I think... Check the item. I think it's 8. I think it's 8.
Pulls out the receipt.
I have not done any experimentation on it. Absolutely not. Let's see. Where is it?
Up to 2
Okay.
people. Damn it.
Let me look up the instruction manual.
He just has it on him.
Also the almanac.
All right. Where is it?
Did you guys know that dragon's on the cover of this sheet?
Do you see this guy? He's a lich.
Who's this jerk-off called Xanathar?
I bet he's a bitch.
I bet he's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Mordecai and the Storm of Idiots, that's what this is.
Beholder, more like a besmolder.
Okay. Correction. I may use this 3 times a day. And it is just in. It allows me to just bring 8 people.
That's just enough.
Plus a guest.
Plus 2 guests.
Unless it's not including him.
Well,
Yeah.
I was
Well,
gonna say.
well, then it's just +1 guest with me.
Yeah.
Well, that would ease up on us being able to transport to places, and it would allow us to get to what we need to find with infinite haste.
Here's the question, though. You say you can transport to another plane, correct?
Yes.
Does that imply you can choose where in the plane, or is it a specific spot?
It is a specific plane of existence.
No, what I mean is like if you're in the Beastlands, let's say,
Mhm.
and then you say I want to go back to it, to Canis' house. Do you get there, or
So basically, it wants to know, is it a 1-to-1 scale based on location within the realm?
I'd imagine. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't tried yet.
oh?
We be rolling the dice.
Lionel's just like
see.
Lionel's bouncing up and down right now on the table, just like, I want in on this. I want in on this.
I was going to use it to try and get to the city of Brass because I hear that there is some delectable magical items there. But if you need,
Why would you make a city out of brass?
it's a city within the fire plane.
Oh,
Yes, it is called the city of Brass.
I was going to say that will
And
sink right away.
Ifrits then.
Yes. So I was going to go there and try and find some interesting magical items, mainly because, you know, I hear several stories from all across the world, and I have been trying to look for something like this magical item for quite a while, but the problem is that there was only ever 4 that were ever made in existence, and it took me a long time to get the right connections, find the right people, and then spend an unbelievable amount of money, but still, it's worth it in the end.
Well then, how does the Beastlands or the Shadowfell sound interesting to you for a treasure hunt?
I hear the Shadowfell might have a few interesting items that have, you know, dark rituals and whatnot, but the Beastlands sounds like fun.
Hmm.
We're looking
I'm
for
gonna roll.
something specific.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion check. How much do you like heists?
Do you like heists?
Do you like heists, sir? Persuasion check.
Make a persuasion.
Those are mind crimes.
19.
19. Well, I mean, I never committed to one, but
It was merely a joke, sir.
I-
I was merely asking if you were up for a little light treasure hunting.
I love treasure hunting. It was something that I used to do a little bit in my slightly more youthful days, between my 17th to 20th birthday. Anyway,
Well, if you have the means of transportation, we have the crew, and any treasure that we find outside of what we're in search of is obviously open to you.
Minus as well a good percentage. Let's not be hasty about that one.
Well, let's get the main focus out of the way,
That's true.
River. We are going there for an express purpose reason. While Mr. Enceladus here is going off on just a random treasure hunt, so
Yeah.
as long as the group and caravan sticks together in this, the profits will be a little bit more towards his garter more than us.
as far as we're concerned, we're just looking for one specific item.
on both different planes.
Indeed.
Much.
But crossing the T and dotting the I's on what treasure we would like to hold on to, I'm certain we could give you a little bit more than our fair percentage as long as we get what we want.
Sounds like an adventure.
How do you fare in combat, sir?
Well, somewhere around the 6th circle of magic.
Oh, well then.
Lionel just looks down, looks at his hands.
I've just gotten there. It's been a wild ride.
You're telling me, and this is coming from someone who went to kill a red dragon.
Oh wow, that's mighty impressive. Managed
Died
to
4 times.
get anything
I kind
from
of
that?
just like I show like I kind of like I show him a little bit of the fundamentium from the chest and then just hide it away again.
And show him one of the scales.
As you open the chest, it is
And then Lionel just closes it with
just
the,
like
with the same smile.
blasting heat, and just like he's,
Covenant, what happened?
the whole
It's like I blew an air dryer in his face.
yeah. Exciting! It seems like at this point, as the conversation does seem to go on, there are now a couple of guards standing in front of all three of you, asking you to get off the table. As it's just like, Royal's absolutely no fun. As he jumps down and he flashes his sash that dictates how he is a council member.
Lionel
Yeah,
just
giant walking advertisement.
Yeah.
Lionel looks left and right. He goes, "Oh wait, that's right. I could have just done this." Conjures a step stool and walks down with the plate.
I'll grab another plate full of snacks and just keep looking at them as I walk away.
I despawn the step stool as River steps on it.
Ah!
Family Guy falls right into the fucking food.
Oh man! Well, I already 50% in my mouth. I'll keep going.
All right.
Sorry, sir. There's one under your thing.
All right. So, Garu, as the night does go on a little bit, it seems like some of the attention of many of the royal advisors have now become a bit more split, while it seems like finally the High Lord is alone and now requesting Tobias's presence as you walk closely behind him.
Gar's gonna just introduce himself.
And who might you be?
It's a pleasure to meet you. The name is Garu Kali. I'm from the Western Kingdom of Myanmar. I don't believe I have never truly met anything of my own race, so I was hoping to introduce myself.
Forogen Tana, as he extends his hand close to you. As you two shake, it feels like the life energy, the key that you have become so familiar with, it's almost back-reeling how forceful it is when it makes connection. It almost punches you without having to physically do it. And as you let go, you feel its presence just in the back of your mind. But it's not mean, it's not violent, but it's there.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So, I do believe you are the High Lord of the Dracovania, yes?
I am one of the 6 High Lord, yes.
Oh, there's 6? How
Exactly.
interesting. I'm not really keen on the cultures of Dracovania, or anything of my race.
Well, it seems like you definitely do not come from any particular house that I am aware of.
Oh, of course not. Though, I do suppose I represent the monks of Kali. I'm technically on my pilgrimage right now, but I'm sure I'll be there in an official role someday.
You're born in
You are familiar
Kali.
with them, yes? Yes, of course. Well, more like an orphan, but still.
So that's all you've known.
Pretty much.
I am aware of the monks. I've at least met them once during my lifetime.
That's incredible. I certainly hope we gave off a good first impression, yes?
They were kind and offered a great cup of tea. I'd imagine that
yes.
you are capable of doing so as well.
Of course. Granted, a bit slower, depending if I had the right setup, but it's something I'm familiar with. It's all muscle memory, yes?
I suppose. You get a faint feeling as if there's just like held back words coming from this odd creature, as he doesn't have any draconic features that you can tell, but like his presence is much like
so
a
it's just
dragon.
human?
He looks
Oh.
he looks in form like a human. The sound that comes from him and the way that your echolocation works and giving you a general idea of what a creature looks like, it doesn't have the same form and feature as you have seen other Dragonborn, but he is humanoid.
Oh, okay. Garo a bit confused about what his actual form is, or like the form is aura. Sorry, it's technically my condition, so I can't really tell for sure, but you are Dragonborn, yes?
No.
You're not? That's so strange. I certainly didn't feel that way. Well, regardless, it's a pleasure to meet you, yes?
It was definitely a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Cully.
Of course. And I guess he's just gonna engage some small talk with the king or like some of the other Dragonborn as the party goes on.
It seems like the king is kind of distracted, having several different conversations around to begin to make light with some of the other Dragonborn. They have the same presence as the former man that you just met, aside from Tobias, who just, for some strange reason, he doesn't... It's almost as if he doesn't care too heavily. It seems like he's just there to do his duty, and that's it, but having any conversation with you has slightly turned into vast interest. And
Really?
yeah. So, so that is currently your night.
Yeah.
Alright. Canis and Helena, what are you guys doing?
I'm a people watch. Actually, I'll lean over towards Canis. Do you think we should talk to your friend about the upcoming war thing?
She is most likely in the know of that already.
Possibly, but it does concern me that supposedly distancing themselves. I mean, she sounded like she was willing to help before, and the fact that they're eventually not has me worried.
She most likely wants to stay out of the conflict.
Possibly. But of course, there's her slimy little friend that I'm worried about too.
Is the Vizier still just watching me?
Make a perception check.
16?
He's not in the room. And you are looking everywhere, and he doesn't seem here or present.
Mildly concerning. He's nowhere around.
Helena looks around as well.
Make a perception check.
No. It was a 3. Plus 7, but... Or plus 5, rather, so it was an 8.
Second verse, same as the first. He's not in the room. He's not in the ballroom.
Let's find somewhere more private. This is worrying me a bit.
Alright. Where do you guys want to go?
Where are the various exits in this building?
So there are currently there is what looks like to be the outward balcony that faces off between the north and the east. Yeah, north and east. And then pretty much what is the south and west are the two exits. The west goes towards the center of the castle, which is where it leads towards near the throne room, and then it goes down and down and down and down. And then the south is just pretty much, it leads to staircases that lead to where they keep all the horses and the carriages, and then it just goes down and then back into the main streets of Crestbusk.
Where's the Queen of Vale?
She is currently having a back and forth with the party and trying to be the current life of it.
Smug bitch.
What about the king? How's he doing?
The king.
Yeah, where is
The king has now taken a seat next to what looks like to be a beautiful elven woman. Not much like his daughter. What is this long blonde golden hair as it flows down, and a very pristine dressing. This is the Queen of Alanon, Ayin.
And the princess?
The princess is currently standing close to the throne with what looks like to be a younger, boyish half-elf sitting near his father's side of the throne, or this seating arrangement of the ballroom.
So, quick question. We cannot make an assumption, but what's the family deal? Is that a father, a mother, a daughter?
A father, a mother, a son, and a daughter.
Okay, gotcha.
Much older daughter, very young son.
Okay.
So a
they have-
nuclear family then.
Yeah. Have they not interacted with anyone, like dancing or anything at all?
They've showed up a couple of times, having a back and forth with the rest of the party, but they kind of keep themselves within a very small circle, and they're also surrounded by guards at all times.
Where should we go?
Well,
Try this.
Alright.
hey guys.
Yeah, no, while we're walking, head out, I guess, towards the main doors, I suppose. And while we're heading that way, Helena will speak into her ring. Something that's been concerning us. Watch out for the Vizier. Lost him.
The guy from Vale?
Yes.
What does he look like again?
Oh, great.
It's right, the black guy.
I was actually curious. Let me take a look. But Yarrow, is there anyone from the Emerald Enclave here?
So far they have not shown up. No.
Okay. No one. Like no.
No.
I might as well make a perception check to see if I spot the Bastille. I don't know if you're okay with that, or
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Are you gonna stand on someone's shoulders?
I can jump really high.
Boing.
I conjure a stepladder.
Oh! 16.
16. I mean, you're looking through the entire ballroom. You don't see him.
Mm-hmm. What if we ask the Queen of Vale who he is? Or would that be too suspicious?
That would be too suspicious.
Very
I feel like that would be suspicious.
Extremely suspicious.
But we fix everything by talking.
Well, I mean, by all means.
No, that's the real world.
Oh, that's true.
By all means, if you feel like chatting with her, go ahead. But for the time being, I'd like to try to find him.
Actually, yeah. I want. No, yeah. I'll go talk to her. I'll be right back.
Oh god. Well,
Got us a
while
ride to the Shadowfell.
Rivers doing that, Canis is going to cast Locate Creature on the Vizier.
Okay. Canis,
1,000 feet.
within 1,000 feet, you get a slight ping as you close your eyes, and kind of begin to center yourself, you feel the slight pinging on the side of your head as it goes down. And it's going lower into the castle.
Where's the Lumerian? Is he low in the castle?
As you remember in your first interaction, he is about 18 floors below the castle.
The locate creature spell gives me the distance, direction of movement, and direction of where he is from me. Is he heading in that direction towards the Lumerian?
As far as you know, yes. It is going down there.
Nope. Change of plans, change of plans, change of plans. Come to us. Now.
What? No way, I need to talk to God!
Now! He's going towards the Lumerian.
Let's call the guards! Well, call the general who's down there.
I mean, that's a good idea, but we can do that as we're leaving. Meeting up with us, and...
I'll go behind them.
Hey,
All right.
Enceladus, can you tell the guards that there was a suspicious-looking fellow who was creeping into the after the Lumerian?
Wait, are you asking a guard?
No, I'm telling Enceladus to tell him that there
Oh,
was someone
Acilius.
creep. I'm telling Acilius to tell the guard, since I'm right next to him, that there was a suspicious individual before we showed up, going down there to check it out. So basically, I'm telling him, hey, can you tell the guards that not us, but someone else went down there to fuck with the Lumerian?
Wait, are you talking to Elmond?
Yeah.
The wizard dude.
The wizard? Yeah,
Wizard.
Elmond.
Yeah, I'm telling Elmond to tell the guard that not us, we're going to go check it out, but
Oh.
someone else is fucking with the Lumerian.
Oh, okay. And he kind of shoots up. Yeah, I'll inform a guard because.
Can you scry on them?
Excellent. And away I go.
All right. So, all of you,
Can you scry
as
him?
you see him break off to the side, and he looks for the nearest guard. All right. So
Does
you
he
get
have to be still to do that, is the thing?
for you to use scrying.
Do I have to be still for that, Euro?
I'll carry you.
It allows you to use the spell scrying. If you have to be still for it, then yes. If not,
I just need something to view into, so I guess I'm.
Pick a plate.
And
This
the other
thing is
other
silver.
thing is he blind when he does that?
okay.
Because how scrying normally works is I just have a focus that I scry into and could just carry that around, but how you describe it before, it's I have to close my eyes and concentrate because I'm using the circlet as a focus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pretty much. For you, it's like meditation. It's divination. You have to stop and connect before you can physically go out and do anything else.
Okay, now sit. I'll carry you.
As
Let's bring the root of this.
as you, River, without your gloves on, try to hold up the canvas.
All my gloves. Why would I take them off?
So,
So
you
are
have
we,
to
in
roll
a,
with the plump
are
gloves.
we in a location where there are no guards right now?
No, there are a number of guards now beginning to kind of look around and try to inspect everyone, as
Okay,
they're
cool.
now becoming slightly alarmed. And you see, with what looks like to be a very pristine guard, much more royal, and his armor almost like pure white platinum, as he steps in and slightly whispers, and everyone kind of returns to composure.
By the way, do we see any of the same guards that brought us down to the Lumerian before?
No. However, you are aware of there being one general in present that is currently not happy with having to be present in a party, which is Celia Solsh.
Ah, okay.
That's the halfling we met before, the one that was managing the Lemurian.
No, this is the one that you met after you completed your mission in Lycia Bay. So her.
Because I just want to at least cover our bases, where it's just like if they fucking see us and go, "We're gonna arrest you," it's like, yeah, but you know us. We have a record. We help you guys on a constant basis. You know we're not doing shady shit.
No, it doesn't seem like the alert is coming towards you guys. It is just kind of to make sure that everyone is safe, and a good number of the guards within the room begin to just kind of surround the king and his family.
Meantime, Helena's speed walking at this point towards the entrance
Yeah,
towards the Lemurian.
Because I at least would like to get us in a location where I could just go, "All right, chest, get your shit."
That'd probably be on the elevator.
Yep, on the elevator.
Yeah.
Chest, get your shit. Let's go.
You guys are kind of walking around the castle. There being many guards. As you guys leave the ballroom and enter into the castle area, there are a number. As you leave, you're just by yourselves, as you collectively all are. And you guys are just kind of walking through. This place is huge. And by the time you get past what looks like to be the main stairway of what would have led to the throne room, as you guys make it into the main thorough, you see what looks like to be several guards at the watch indoors.
We need to get down to the Lemurian. The elevator to head down. Did anybody pass, by the way?
Have you seen a creepy guy?
As one of the helmeted guards is just like, no, nobody's passed through these doors. In fact, nobody should be passing through these doors.
We need to get down. We do have permission.
Canis hasn't ended the concentration yet, and it lasts up to an hour. Is he still going down there?
All right, so Canis, and keep in mind as you are still in the ballroom focusing.
No, he's not scrying.
No,
He
locate doesn't require that.
Oh yeah. Oh, as locate creature, it does seem to have reached towards the bottom, and it is close nearby where that locked Lemurian was.
Jesus.
We need to go down immediately.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but we've been informed to not let anyone down here. So unless you,
There's someone down there right now.
We also have permission from the king.
we've received no orders about that tonight. However, I can send one of our own and inspect upon such a claim. As the other guard standing nearby one of the doors, he kind of gives a slight nod and he begins to return up to the ballroom.
I suggest you hurry.
Yes, make haste.
And yes, make haste, and and do remember, Lionel kind of just like taps the treasure chest. I'm the one who has the fundamentium to get the Lumerian out.
These guys being, you know,
Oh no, I know.
the city
I'm
guard.
guilt on them if they botch this, basically.
Yeah, they have no idea what you're even talking about.
They're paid to be guards, not to...
Oh no, I know they're paid to be guards, but I'm just like, all right, if the kingdom fucking crumbles, it's gonna be on you.
Remember these.
Because you followed protocol.
After about
prepared enough for this.
after about 10 minutes, the pinging has moved, and it seems to kind of jump at certain points throughout the castle and reach back down the south entrance. of the ballroom.
Wait, jumped around the castle, so teleporting?
You can kind of gather it might be. As the guard does finally get back, it's like he has been informed that Mr. Matilis is allowed down to see this Lumerian whenever he so chooses.
Thank you.
As the guard begins to move to the side and open the main gated door that will lead to the elevator.
All right.
Quick question: are you sure no one passed you by?
I am very aware that nobody has gone through any of these doors without the permission of the king.
Can I make an easy check?
Go ahead.
I doubt he's lying.
Yeah.
No,
I feel like he's. I feel like he's just a rube.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say,
He made enough
it's
to
either
lie.
it's either charm or he's
yeah, but
teleporting.
if it was charmed, they would know they were charmed. 21.
So that's
21?
why I also feel like he's just a rube and just didn't see it.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell from the tone of his voice and the assurance of his statement, nobody has tried or even made it through these doors, and he seems pretty clear and blunt about it.
Yep, he's literally just a rube who's paid to sit at the door.
Yep.
That's my old job.
I want to go down.
All right.
Sir, I just run security. Then it's your job! It's your job then! You fucking asshole!
So, as you guys get into the elevation device, as the latch closes and you guys pull the lever and it just goes straight down.
Yeah, I'm probably smooth braining here, but you're talking about like everyone that was like just free to roam around, right? Is Garo still in the ballroom, or
Does
I mean,
Garo
what if-
want to be in the ballroom? Is he with or not in the party?
I mean, I thought that like this is like the gaggle of those four just like doing their own thing, and Garo's just
Well,
like
Helena
ballroom,
used
okay.
the ring. Helena used the ring, so you probably would have heard it.
yeah, like
Okay.
alright, then I'll just
That once again, I'm asking.
like,
Did
I
you stay in the
still thought we were a
ballroom?
split I still thought we were a split party, so everyone
Okay,
was
so
staying
if
together,
it-
then yeah, sure.
All right, then Garo, you've remained in the ballroom, kind of just trying to mingle with several different individuals. You, being a very statuish man yourself, it is the back and forth between many of the individuals is quite interesting, as many of them are very curious as to who you are and where you're from. So, you guys get down to about the 18th floor as you feel the temperature drop. As the door opens and you see the several chain and bursting howls that come from all the other rooms for whatever is behind these doors, and the giant frozen door that is locked away.
Is he still there?
Not that you can see.
The Lumerian dude?
Oh, no, the door is closed.
Oh, the door's closed.
Get
Yeah.
up then.
All right.
Petra.
As you guys approach, and as one of the guards open the closed door from atop, the door opens. He's still there, frozen in space and time.
Does anything look off?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Anus is gonna use Boy's eyes and cast see invisibility.
19 for me.
19. And this is an investigation, correct? I think I said that.
Investigation. You said
Oh.
you said perception.
Oh, perception. So, from the general look of the entire room for what you want to be able to see. There's nothing that has ultimately changed. There are still several pieces of equipment all around that was used to investigate and kind of look at this guy and get a general glean and trying to get an understanding of the ice that was used to encapsulate him. From what you can generally tell from the entirety of it, there's nothing that's off about the room, and there's nothing that seems to be endangering you in the room, aside from the near sub-zero cold.
Helena looks at Canis. Did you see anything?
Did I pick up anything turning on the see invisibility?
So, as you close your eyes and as you open them, they shimmer a slight magical field over them, and you begin to kind of just openly inspect. What you can see, what looks like to be almost glyphs on the wall.
Is he able to read what they are?
In any form and way, these are just like worded glyphs. These are magic circle-based glyphs.
Would that be Arcana to know what they're doing?
Sure.
14.
14. To your general understanding, these glyphs are made to ward off anything getting into this room that is magical. So, scrying, teleportation, it seems like anything that could try and get into this room is not going to get into it. And it feels like that might be the case for all of these rooms.
Do these also stop it from teleporting out?
Both. On the way in and the way out.
Doesn't look like he's here. But it also doesn't look like he'd be able to teleport in here either. Which would explain why he had to come down here physically.
Did you tell us out of character if he was jumping around too?
Yeah, he would have.
Now, how did he do that?
How did he do that?
It seems like any of those glyphs, they only stop at the room, not the hallways or the elevation device. It seems like this room in specific that you can see, and then the glyphs stop at the door.
Lionel's gonna suggest something really stupid, but he puts a little hand up just like, I might be naive, but don't castles usually have secret passageways?
Probably the case.
Possibly.
I want to investigate the hallway to see if there is such a thing.
Sure.
Not the hall. I will investigate in the room though. What if, since no one saw him going in?
Oh god, excuse me. Investigation of 15.
As you begin to investigate the hallway and the room itself, there doesn't seem to be any way to open any secret door. There's no secret passageway that you can glean off of. There's no, like, passing air that would have allowed to let you through anywhere. It's pretty solid down here. There's a reason why the 18th floor exists. It is
preposterous. Why would my books lie to me?
The 18th floor exists for the most dangerous things, if not also the most valuable things. Considering that this person frozen in ice is down here, there's obviously got to be a reason for it.
Why don't you talk to your girlfriend, Kindness?
What?
I think she means your friend.
Oh.
I know you have a lot of girlfriends going on, but I think she means that one.
Just swoops on into another conversation. Hell yeah.
Wait, that's another one?
You were not told, were you?
Huh?
You brought that up.
Yeah, I
We
think
were
you guys were there when you
Yeah.
brought that up.
Yeah, we
I
were
probably-
told that he was gonna get fucking like suitor to the king's
Oh.
daughter.
I thought that was when you dancing.
No. But last session at the very end, he told us.
Gotcha.
Dang, Brack, you take notes and remember things.
No.
In any case, my love life aside, it would be a good idea to talk to her and ask why the hell she brought him with her.
But what's he down here?
While they are down here, should we...
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, in the middle of a fucking party where like there's civilians here and the guards are already on edge, taking the Lumerian out of here would be a very risky and very stupid idea.
Yeah.
We can save that for a later date. Right now we have more pressing issues.
Yeah.
All right.
That, and I also believe Isaac would want to see his fucking like brother wake up.
That too.
Can you check right now?
Helena still looks extremely concerned, but she'll follow
Lena,
through.
Can you check the inside of the room for secret passages?
He already did.
I did.
Oh, I thought it was the hallway, not the inside.
I covered both mainly
Gotcha.
for the sake of
Fair
time.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Yaro, you said there were multiple rooms heading down, right?
There are multiple floors, yes.
While we're heading up, does it look like any of the floors above have been messed with?
I mean, you would have to check all of them.
Besides, we have never been there. We don't know what's not there.
Oh boy, time to raid the entire place.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't sure if there was a door leading somewhere that looked like it was damaged while we're passing by or something like that.
There's a room. There's a
The
room.
king trusted Canis.
All right. So as your business concludes here, you guys return back to the ballroom. All right.
So,
Girl's gonna chime in the ring. Shh. Did you guys find them already? I didn't miss anything, did I?
No, everything looks normal.
And from what we can tell, he could teleport around.
Wait, where are you right now?
Down below.
We're in the elevator. We're heading back up now.
I'm so sorry. I completely got distracted.
It's alright, Gara. How is everything up there right now?
It seems to be relatively normal. I'll let you know if anything changes.
Alright.
everyone died. He cannot see it.
Everything changed while they were gone.
What happened?
Whoa!
What happened?
Whoa.
The room around him is burning and he doesn't notice.
Boy, this punch sure is tasty.
Wow, it got real quiet all of a sudden.
They're bringing out the hot coffee.
Breaking out the hot coffee, all Garu does is just open his mouth and pour it in, and then close his mouth. There's just a little bit dripping down the side of his jaws.
His horns go on fire.
A little bit of acid just dribbles out too.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Wow, tasty.
Well, I guess. Well, so
So you, as you guys are heading up from the elevator, it does take a while because old technology.
it's a waste of time.
So Garu, as you are in this ballroom, well and alone, with a vast amount of people, it does seem like the night is coming towards an end, as there are several people now kind of coming to a close, and the familiar aura of Basilia Hope is now beginning to leave the ballroom and heading towards the exit.
So everyone's. Girl's gonna chime with the ring. It seems like everyone's leaving.
Don't let the Vizier or Acelia leave.
Of course. I shall keep a lookout.
You actually-
I'll try.
Oh God, we're doomed.
I was about to say, can he even recognize her?
I can
As a-
recognize her. I never met her. I think.
You've met her. You recognize her aura. She is a tiefling
Oh.
woman,
Okay. Just all right, come
a very
on. Okay,
powerful one.
I'll feel for her.
Oh god.
I'll use my devil sense.
Just now, it's
As
something.
as he like hangs out at the exit, like 1 foot up against the wall, trying to look as cool as possible.
Hey, what's up?
No, just says,
Hey, remember me? Hey.
Are you
Hey!
Celia? What about you?
Hey, don't leave.
I need to ask you some questions.
Do you actually say this?
No.
No,
Okay.
we're fucking around.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're kind of just like inspecting, she is heading towards the exit.
It seems like she's leaving. What do I do?
engage in conversation. She's bound
Beat
to
her
love
up. I mean,
Tell her how good tell her how great she is.
Pick her up. Okay.
No, don't literally pick her up. Just be your normal, charming self, Garu. Just engage in conversation until we get there.
Oh, okay then. I shall try. He's. Wait, I need a bit more punch.
So
arm on her shoulder. Hey.
Hey.
all right.
Fantastic job with that too.
I guess when Vasilia draws near, like he's gonna try and like strike up a conversation.
As you turn over and she's like, Garu, it's been quite some time.
Yes, it's such a pleasure to meet you again. So, how were the festivities?
Quite exciting. I have to say there are various things that one can enjoy while here in Al-Anon. I do intend to stay for a little while longer, but the festivities were fantastic, and I do enjoy the brand new spring season every year.
Yes. The winds sure are fresh this year, right?
Well,
So, do you have any other plans for the evening?
I plan to return back to my lodgings in Noxla, so if you don't mind.
Would you care? Would you care for another sip of punch?
I've had more than enough of my fill, thank you very much.
Okay. Gar's starting to panic a little bit. She's leaving. There's nothing I can do.
Garu,
Persuasion check and let the dice tell you.
Okay.
I need to ask her.
I am trying to persuade.
This is my persuasion dance.
Yarrow, when we get like within 30 feet of the top, can you let me know?
All right.
Quick, give me some advice. I run out of pickup lines.
Ask her about Ursa. That's what I wanted to ask her.
Ursa, yes. How's... I do have another question. How's Ursa doing?
Oh, the other tiefling man that was with your group. I've kind of sent a couple of guards to inspect upon the forest. It seems like the South Forest is doing a little bit better nowadays. Not as many dangerous monsters that seem to have once roamed it within its trees.
That's definitely good to know. Is there anything else afoot over there? Or anything else in the area?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, there was that whole Wraith situation, but he was quickly dealt with.
Wraith situation?
It happens mainly due to the nature of what was going on inside the forest, and it brings the negativity of such dark spirits into the forest. Of course, I've handled it well enough.
This elevator's so goddamn slow.
So you passed the vibe check, yes?
I have no idea what that is.
I don't either.
Well then.
30 feet at the top yet?
Nope.
Yeah, please, are they at the top?
Nope.
30
Not
feet
yet.
at the top?
Nope.
Are we 60 feet? Because I'll just I'll dimension door you up there.
Get her to talk about me. She'll never stop.
Wait the fuck a minute. I have dimension door. Get us up here now.
Tell her Canis wants to dance with her.
So, so keep in mind, Dimension Door only allows you to take one person of the size that you are with them.
Aw, damn it! I'm fucking 3 feet tall.
Hi.
You could definitely take a. You could definitely take a river with you.
I grab her by the back of the shirt and then just. They're right next to Garu. Hi.
As you guys just. Hi. I was like,
Oh.
Lionel and River. That was an odd appearance coming from the both of you.
Ah, company. It's certainly glad you saved me from such a situation.
Awkward amount of conversation going on.
Miss Hope, hi. Sorry.
We have something dire to speak to you about, and it involves Canis.
Yep. Oh, my shins.
Oh, and what happened? What would that happen to be?
We would actually like it if we kept it private. Is there a place we can stand outside for the brief moment and await his arrival?
Yeah, what is the gremlin the freaking vizier with her?
Not that you can immediately see.
Your friend that was with you, you wouldn't happen to know where he is right now, would he?
I would imagine he's outside waiting for me.
Have you seen?
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
By the way, the elevator just finally hit the top as it finally opens. Canis and Helena as
Tell me
just
when
like,
we're within 30 feet of the top, Yarrow!
yeah, no, you're now here. As it just.
And then fucking Helena just like pops into existence right next to him.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was gonna say when we got 30 feet with the top, I was gonna teleport Canis, because I can do that now.
So, as you guys now begin to rush towards the ballroom, it does take you a little bit, though. As you're standing there, Lionel.
Oh, pity's sake, I use face step on Canis. Getting there closer.
Okay.
Good.
As Canis, all of a sudden, you appear.
I give Canis a rough shove forward, and he pops there.
As you just appear from a ghostly form out of nowhere, and you see Acelia just almost had it with people just popping up. I'm like, okay. What
was once Lionel is now Canis. You hear?
Then teleport on top of him.
It's supposed to be an unoccupied space. So no.
You're fine.
Gets up, just
Okay, Canis, as you were. After this, you will be set free, ma'am.
Wait a second. Why didn't you tell me to talk about Canis before?
I grabbed Garu by the tail and I just
What
yanked
is
him away.
what is exactly going on? I'm vastly confused.
Let's go to a private area.
What exactly did you bring the Vizier here for?
He's supposed to accompany wherever I go. That's what viziers do.
Care to explain why he was wandering around the grounds then?
What? Down in the main grounds in the front, or?
All over the castle, honestly.
I mean, he comes and goes as he pleases. I'm pretty sure that he was out mingling or, separating himself from people. He's not exactly the most sociable individual.
Insight.
Go ahead.
Let me know when I'm there, by the way.
You just began. Just. Like that.
21 on insight.
she doesn't seem... This doesn't seem out of the ordinary for him, and she's well aware that he does have his own private, his own privacy to deal with, and obviously he doesn't seem extremely social, only just aware of how to handle kingdoms, and the reason why he is a vizier to begin with. It doesn't come off as like this is, out of the blue. It seems normal.
Ma'am,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna walk past them and I'm going to go out and look for them. I'm gonna just meld into the shadows.
Make a stealth check. With disadvantage... Actually, no, just a straight stealth check because people are leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's people surfing.
Yeah.
That is not my best, but it's a 14.
You just kind of slip away.
I'm breathing heavily.
Yeah, as you kind of slip away, it doesn't seem like the attention of what was Celia focusing on you. She's more focused on Canis and Garu, these two honking men.
These two honking men.
Two huge honking men.
Quack.
Right.
Quack.
That's what we get her attention. We honk at her.
And the fucking...
I-
and the puddle of fucking fur that's on the floor right now.
I'm not exactly sure if you are aware, but there are people that do have their private life, or if they do not wish to be a part of... He does this. He goes out, he does what he usually does, and then he comes back. It's what he does. I am not his mother.
Ma'am, but we need to talk though. Last time we were out there, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt out of ignorance, but he has this weird shimmer to him, and he actively tried not to help us when we were trying to help you with your forest. And now
We all lacked knowledge at the time.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and cut this straight to the point then, ma'am. We lack knowledge as to why he fucking phased himself down into the basement of the entire castle where there is a Lumerian.
There's no certainty to that statement. I have no idea what you are talking about.
Insight.
Go ahead.
Oh, better, 22.
It doesn't seem like it's getting to her. Like, she doesn't know what you guys are talking about. And obviously, if she's becoming more and more defensive of Falu as you guys are constantly trying to... It seems like as if you're trying to pin something on him.
Do I see him at all?
You do see him. He's at the bottom of the south exit. Stairs, like, about 200 feet downwards.
I'ma just go ahead and saddle right up to him.
As you walk up to him, he turns and he slightly sees you, and I gave you no permission to look at me.
I still
Motherfucker!
do as I wish. She bats her eyes very pointedly. I do as I wish, same as you.
Fair enough.
Pleasant evening.
Too much. I'm not a fan of people, as you already know.
I can tell. Did you enjoy your stroll around the castle?
The grounds are nice. The garden is pleasing.
How about the basement?
He looks confused at you. What
She
are
just
you?
keeps eye contact.
What are you trying to insinuate?
Trying to blatantly say. Couldn't help but notice your disappearance earlier.
I needed some fresh air.
Just so happens that my magically inclined friend noticed you going. She points down.
Well, then your magically inclined friend must be lying.
He's too good of a boy to lie.
No one is ever that good.
Oh, Well, no one's perfect, to be sure, but he's certainly a Boy Scout, I can assure you.
Besides, who could ever trust the son of a liar?
Ooh. Ooh, fucking oof.
I'm stabbing you with a
Scandalous.
fork.
Yeah, Helena's eyes kind of slowly raise. And she leans forward a little bit. Oh, do tell. You have my interest.
You begin to see one of his teeth beginning to bite the side of his lip. I have nothing else to say to you, oh mystery woman of the night. Our business here is concluded. Have a good evening. As he begins to step forward.
Did he just call you a whore?
Not to mention, how does he know?
It kind of
your
feels
case-
like it.
Not to mention, how does he know you as Canis?
What is the son of a liar stuff? You know what? I'm also not gonna go ahead and pressure. I'm not gonna pressure what's her face because I feel like that's just gonna lead to nothing but despair. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna summon Rather Dashing and go down the staircase.
As you conjure this phantom steed in the middle of the ballroom, just
Outside, dude. Outside.
No, it's better inside.
as it's literally, the steps are literally just straight out the door, just start going down as you start clopping down and start reaching towards the bottom of the stairway as what looks like to be a leaving Falu and a rather, like, the audacity of this bitch look coming from Helena.
Ma'am, I'm just sorry if it's a little sudden, but do be careful.
Also, that's not actually the face she has right now. she's just calmly watching him.
As
I think we're pressing our luck as it is.
what is River, you're apologizing, is just like, yes, do be very careful. And she looks at you, Canis, a little annoyed and slightly feeling personally offended, as if like the trust of you know, asking for help, and then now it feels like almost like a spit in the face. As she then turns and the flow of her dress beginning to sweep at all your legs, and it slightly glides over you, Lionel, as she then begins to walk down the stairway. Oh no, wait, no, Lionel, you're heading down the stairway on a phantom steed.
I'm on top of a nightmare ghost horse called Rather Dashing.
Yeah, you are on Rather Dashing, and you reach the bottom of the stairway, and you know, he's just walking what looks like to be towards the carriage as he gets in.
Okay.
As he now staring out to both of you, almost a little pissed off.
Of course he's
And
pissed off. We fucking accused him of something.
as what looks like to be Cilius, as she reaches towards the bottom, and she looks slightly annoyed at you, Helena and Lionel. So they now
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Finally.
she walks past you, slightly just scoffed, and gets in the carriage, and it slams shut and it pulls away.
Cool. We're making enemies left and right.
Cool.
Sorry for the awkward bits of conversation. I didn't know what to say.
That went well.
I think she trusts that Vizier too much.
Viziers are always evil. Every
Every
time.
I have read far too many books that say otherwise.
But they are good.
You only
No,
ever
I-
hear from the ones that are evil.
Oh boy. Well,
I did get one thing out of him.
What's that?
Not here, though.
All right, then get on your horses.
Wait, we have horses?
We have horses?
I made one especially for everyone.
No, but you didn't tell us that yet.
Oh no, that's the thing. I'm like, I made one for every single one of you, and I summon them right in front of them.
A bunch of phantom steeds now appear before each and every one of you, alongside Rather Dashing. All to your personalities.
Oh, and there is one thing. In order to keep them grounded to everyone, I had to give them names at the start. So this is all of your guys' names. Canis, yours is Crispy Lars.
What?
Helena, yours is... I'm scrolling up the list. I'm scrolling up the list. Give me a minute.
It was Prickly Pete, wasn't it?
Give me a minute. I'm scrolling up the list.
I think it was Prickly Pete.
Yep, Helena, yours is Prickly Pete. River, yours is Knuckleham.
like
And
that.
Garo, yours is Odds Botkins.
That sounds Bodkins.
I suppose we should also describe our new steeds
Yes,
now.
describe your
Yeah.
steed, because that was the stipulation I gave you guys. They can look like whatever the fuck you want. The only caveat is I get to name them.
Oh, who wants to start?
Well, people already saw mine, which is a red chocobo, basically.
Yep.
Just with some traits of some like almost rabbit ears, but that's about it.
Helena's actually does look like a normal horse. It's like a black it's a Dalmatian spotted horse, basically.
Okay. And Canis?
Canis Crispy Lars looks like a cross between a snapping turtle and a rhinoceros. It angrily hisses at everything around it.
Okay.
Garu.
Garu just looks like a regular horse at first, with black and white spots all over its body. It has very long bangs covering its eyes, but it has a very peculiar mouth. Is this what they call a horns? And just like a dog-faced fucking stallion just standing before him.
It's a
It
horse
looks like a
with a
normal horse
dog
behind
mouth.
it, then it like turns its face and everybody just goes, ugh.
Hey, yep, and even Lionel just goes,
Back in, it ain't done yet.
I love him! And he's gonna go in for a squeeze. Instead of neighing, it's just gonna go.
it man screams?
Oh god.
It's the Tom yell.
He yells like fucking Stamper.
Oh god. Terrifying. Why would you make that?
This is what a horse looks like, correct?
It's based off of what you guys desired your steeds to look like.
Well, I don't really know what a horse looks like, so...
Canis, why is yours a turtle?
I don't quite know.
Why did you desire a fucking, like, turtle?
I don't know.
Do you feel Is it because you feel safe on the
His
next
head just
show?
like tucks into its own body. That's why. It's in turtle mood, the horse.
Oh god.
Big chicken.
Yes,
Oh,
Did mine turn out okay?
good enough.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alright, so
My kid ain't done yet.
is you guys get on your phantom steeds, you call their names, and you rush into the night, back into the home of Metilius.
Oh, we screwed up.
Oh, do remember, Rather Dashing is like bigger than every other horse here, and
Yeah.
Lionel is only 3 feet tall, so
Yeah, it's a small boy, big horse.
yep.
Turtle can also run at 10 miles an hour.
Okay, you look like oh god, you look like a freaking decoration by that point.
The hood ornament.
This saddle looks really small. Hi! Ah!
Big chicken. But I just, god damn it, guys.
Yeah, we botched that.
I'm terrible under pressure. Sorry.
You and me both. What were we supposed to do? Just let him roam around?
No.
No.
Although it does bring concern as to what's been going on in the Vale.
Well, she did mention something about a wraith. That's pretty much all that came to mind.
Right?
Yeah, she said it was like a regular thing.
Like legendary shadows?
Maybe? I don't know. I could barely hold a conversation. I don't know what she was saying.
What's a wraith?
Make a Arcana check.
I'm gonna let you roll it, but I have a backup.
I would prefer someone with the proficiency of this because I'm actively asking.
Oh, what was it again?
A wraith is. I got a 19.
Yeah, I'm asking for people.
So-
Just doesn't know.
Wraiths are basically evil spirits that suck your soul out. They're like yeah. They're not fun.
Evil ghosts.
Yeah. They're not fun, and they're pretty much the remnant, like, echoes of Vecna throughout the ages. They are just bad.
Not you, rather dashing. You're one of the good ones. This fucking on fire, ethereal nightmare horse.
You too, Lionel.
On a treasure hunt, and I got a talking best friend horse.
I did that as a
Doing this
joke.
all night.
I was doing that as a joke.
Now it's canon.
If I'm not real and there's no one left here to imagine me, then what happens to...
No, he only talks when literally nobody else is around to hear it.
You know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna have Lionel conjure up your guys is able to talk. Fuck it.
Oh shit!
I will prefer my chicken.
Okay, hold on. I gotta write something down. I gotta write something down.
Dude, I eat a lot of chicken. I don't want my chocobo to start being sassy towards me. I don't need this knucklehead.
Okay.
Knuckleham just starts talking to you. You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, it's an Uber.
This is basically Siri.
Your Uber is here.
Okay, so
Okay.
Sorry.
go ham. Basically Siri. All right.
Wow.
We're making canon voices now. Oh yeah.
I'll ask you guys later.
Yeah.
They're just like the most simple answers too. It's just like either extremely positive or extremely sad.
They only give positive reinforcement, so obviously that means that Crispy Lars never does.
Alright.
Would it be possible to communicate with the hell? She was not the lady that was a hag, but was not a hag. That is in the forest by Vale.
I believe so, if she's still on this plane.
Maybe she will know more.
About what's going on there? Possibly, but this seems more like a royal court issue, more so than the forest.
Well, like, we are back at the Cadis's house, right?
Yeah, as you guys now beginning to slightly shuffle in, the house is dead quiet.
I don't like how you said that.
Yeah, the only thing that you guys do manage to hear is the slight clanking of metal coming from the kitchen, as it's just so late into the night, and it doesn't seem like Isaac is getting any sleep.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
I don't think he does sleep. There was
Doesn't
one
he
thing.
recharge?
I don't know, but was
Well,
one thing that he said
I-
that bothered me. Like I said before. And she looks at Canis. He called you the son of a liar.
Well, he knew it was Canis?
Yes. I said magically inclined.
Well, yeah, that's Lionel.
No, that is
There
true.
it is.
Not to mention, how does he know you're friends with Canis? I know you danced, but he was not there.
We did come to the ball together.
We did. And, well, he is, the Queen of the Vale's friend and everything.
Lionel goes catatonic. I lied?
No, the son of a liar, so that would imply your father or your mother.
That would imply he knows my mom or dad.
That would
Actually-
imply,
Well, joke.
if not
joke's
you,
on-
and talking about me, he is either talking about my mother or my father.
Well, joke's on her. I don't know who my mother and father are.
I want to roll a. What would be the roll to see if there's any like lore stigma when it comes to Bahamut?
I mean, generally speaking, that kind of mentality only comes from, those cultists of Tiamat, as far as, like, history tells.
Oh, that's rather disturbing. Because only those who have a mind like that would believe is Tiamat.
If he was talking about Bahamut, yes, but if he was talking about my mother, what would she be lying about?
Well, it might. Oh, wait, I puts up a finger. It might explain why the Vale is distancing themselves then, if they think your mother is doing something. She is, after all, a person of high power here.
True.
And since he is an advisor to the Queen of the Vale.
Hey, I'm gonna go tell Isaac. Hey, do you want to go like release your brother from frozen hell tomorrow?
As you see, as he is currently trying to, like, mingle together what is a fresh new batch of bread as he's turns and he's like, "Oh, really?" As now beginning to stretch and stick from his giant mechanical fingers.
I mean, we have the Fundamentium. If used correctly, don't see why we can't release him sometime tomorrow.
That would be. Thank you.
Of course, we told you we would help you out with this.
It'd be nice to have family again. As it almost sounds like the faint sound of held back tears, but like you can't see it.
I'm actually curious about that. Like, I know if we're going to be releasing him and all, like, what are Marians capable of?
You mean like if he's gonna retaliate because he just he's gonna have culture shock from being forced into another timeline?
I mean, yeah, we kind of already talked about that. That he said that he's going to be fine, but just to be safe, the last Lumerian we encountered kind of almost killed all of us.
It also does not look like he was frozen when he was in a peaceful time. He could just start lashing out, unknowing of where he currently is.
True.
Well, I feel like Isaac here would be our ace in the hole in that scenario. He would be the emotional support.
Yeah, but
He doesn't
Hey.
exactly
Looks like a
look like his old
robot.
self, now does he?
Yeah, and the guy's coming out of a fucking ice-induced coma for thousands of years.
Maybe he'll have a little bit of atrophy. I mean, it is like a giant block of ice, yes?
we basically just need to be prepared in case anything happens. That's the only precaution. It's not we are not implying anything.
In a nutshell. But
Well, the more we wait and think about this, the longer time's just gonna pass, and I believe Isaac is done waiting.
it's true.
I would like to see my brother breathing, at least.
Lionel just like makes like two like pointed hand gestures over to him. He'd like to see his brother breathing.
You and me both.
I'm still worried about what happened with tonight, though.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
That will have ripples. Well, if there's anything my mother or my dad would tell me if I piss someone off really, really bad, apologize.
She did say she's going to be staying around for a few days.
So
Worst
what,
case scenario.
do we wrap Kanos in a package? Or like what?
What?
That would be funny.
Why
but-
is that your first thought?
Lionel starts like conjuring like disguised self. What would you look like as a clown? Because I'm sure she would get a laugh out of that.
I'm going to my room.
It wouldn't look very genuine, though, I must say. As
No,
funny
that's
as
fair.
that would be.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Just
But again, like that's the most fucking bare bones thing my mother and dad would tell me is if you fucked up, so bad, own up to it.
why are you looking at me like that?
He's just he's like fucking like not like a centimeter away from River, like looking dead in her eyes.
I love nervousness.
laughs in halfling.
Laughs at Gotham.
What the fuck?
What a funny story, Mark.
Yeah, no, we need to take care of that tomorrow.
We do. We need to take care of a couple of things, it seems.
And then I gotta start preparations because I only told you guys a little bit of it, but
Wait,
our magically inclined friend might actually get us a trip into the Shadowfell or the Beastlands.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Which would we want to do?
That's for us to decide. He's just along for treasure hunting. As long as we get what we want, he's all for getting us the transportation.
He works 3 times a day.
Well, which one... Well, if we're going to the plains, which one was... I know the Baselands was the bow. Which one was the Shadowfell?
It was.
Cloak?
It is
An armor
Umbrus Regalia. Is a light mail armor made of very fine mithril and adamantine. It is pure black with the symbol of the Raven Queen, it being her former champion's armor.
I don't. Who
That-
here
but
wears
that-
light armor besides me?
Yo,
I think I can wear light armor and I have medium armor as well.
I have up to medium at this point.
I think anyone who isn't a dragon in the party.
Yeah.
Well, technically, like, Gar can use light and medium armor, but that, like, he prefers to
That
stay.
fucks
like,
your stats up.
Yeah,
He
pretty
prefers
much.
being in his boxer briefs.
So
Yeah.
if we get it, he can work on any 3 of us. As much as I don't want to deal with the Raven Queen. Oh God.
I mean, we don't have to. We could just go to the Beastlands then.
No, but if we're going to be dealing with that thing, we might need as many as we can.
Well, we might need as many as we can, but I guess the question is which one do we want first?
I bought Beastlands. We can get you a new bow.
Helena slowly grins. That is admittedly my vote too, but I didn't want to seem too greedy.
Oh, why? Because you have a cloak of eternal invisibility?
Maybe.
Trust me, it will be more useful for you to get it.
Beastlands just okay. As much as this sounds very stupid and illogical coming from me, the Beastlands just sounds fun based on reading a book by its cover.
Really?
What's in the Beastlands?
Beasts.
I can't wait to go to Jumanji.
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh, if we turn into animals there? Oh, that would be fun.
You listen here. If we don't meet a man who's in an explorer's outfit called Conrad, I don't know what the fuck we're doing in this game.
Oh yes, a man in a pith hat with a musket.
With a pissed hat, musket, and handlebar mustache bigger than his own body.
Mr. Behemoth?
No, that's how our wizard friend is gonna.
If
dress
he's
up
not
with
a
his
no,
lions.
okay, if he's not a gnome, halfling, kobold, or gnoll, what the fuck is this campaign?
No, but yeah, if we can go to Beastlands, we take care of that, and then we can go to the Shadow Queen, I guess.
Man,
I mean,
I've been
so
holding
long as
back
you-
this fucking NPC for fucking years, man. You calling me out?
Fucking mind, my dude. Get this shit going now.
No, I've been planning on this NPC fucking interaction for years. How dare you call me out?
That reminds me. if we're gonna go release Isaac's brother tomorrow,
Yes.
what if we try to lessen the blow? Is there any way to disguise Isaac as his former self?
Lionel
I think we did
holds
that before.
Lionel holds his fingers up and waves them.
Yeah.
It's
We
fine.
can,
Simple
we can-
illusions, maybe.
yeah, we can dress you up as your old self, You talk to your brother. You let him know what happened to you.
Can't walk into the room though because it'll dispel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I
no
mean,
matter
we
what
can-
the fuck we do, there's gonna be confusion and there's gonna be
Yes.
emotions everywhere.
Yeah, he's been
Yes.
frozen for a while.
I say we just rip the band-aid.
I agree. There's probably really no other way to do it.
All right, so Canis, as you warmly enter your room, it's just like it's uncomfortably warm due to the egg's presence. You kind of have to open windows and just kind of hope that some cool air starts coming in.
He's still there.
Yeah, as the rest of you prepare for the night.
Yara,
Come on, rather dashing. Let's go to bed.
Yara,
Oh God.
Yeah,
is Canis's mom in her room?
Yeah.
you can check.
Just want to put my ear up to the door. Just see if I can hear any snoozing.
Make a perception check.
That is a 13.
13. You get your ear as close as you possibly can. It's just too thick of a door. It's very nice wood to kind of glean any sound.
Helena's going to go over to where the mom's office usually is. I'm just
Okay.
going to really softly open it.
As you open the door, the room's empty. From what you can just generally glean off of it, finished paperwork, what looks like to be a half-finished cup of wine, a slightly opened window.
Can Helena poke through a couple of papers that's in the thing and see if there's anything about the veil at all?
Sure. The papers are a bit of a mess. Just having to kind of stack through them and go through. It just seems like the general business dealings that go along here, considering the fact that she owns many pieces of the estate of the bazaar that have to have a certain maintained priority of those shops, and this is where that money comes in, is owning the estate, not the business itself, and kind of becoming an overseer of such trades. There also seems to be what looks like to be plans for an airship, and the cost and financing of building one currently in place.
Alright. Nothing about the veil at all?
Nothing about bail.
Alright. Helena's gonna put the papers all back where it was and she'll quietly exit the room.
Okay.
Provided that nobody is up there.
As you look around, not a soul in sight.
Alright. She'll walk back out, she'll close the door back as it was, and just head back to her room quietly.
All right.
There's one thing I want to do. Well, River, rather.
All right.
River will walk up to Canis' room.
Come in.
Hey, Canis.
Hello.
Sorry for bothering you this late. May I request your help?
What with?
Can you scry on someone for me?
Who?
My brother.
Leroy.
I know.
What for?
I just want to see if he's okay.
Alright.
I know have strong opinions against him, but he's my brother.
Scrying on Leroy.
Okay. As you close your eyes and the gem opens up and it kind of draws you from your body once again, and you just start heading straight into the sky as you now see the giant, vast, and open field as it now drags you all the way to the east as you begin to get a little bit closer and settle. As you get closer towards the east and you start heading towards the southern area, not too far off, you begin to slowly make sense to where you are landing, and it's in the southern border between Wallenstein and Al-Anon itself. So very south of Vale, but along that border between the two countries. As your vision begins to cut and get clear within this bordering town that acts as the bridge between the two nations, you see what looks like to be a dripping blade and the face of what looks like to be a slightly scarred and slowly healing Leroy, as he is standing among what looks like to be the slightly obscured bodies that are now lining behind him. And he looks like he just went through a battle and is breathing. Where to next? As you see a raven flutter down and land on his shoulder as it begins to peek and peer. After fully inspecting, your vision begins to pull back and you are drawn back into your body and you
Well, he's alive. As that he was before.
You also note something as well, Canis. The platinum hammer is on his back.
Alright. He still has that hammer that he stole from me.
Sorry.
No, better that he has it rather than it stumbling into the hands of the UNT. Once, I thought he was going to get captured again.
Where is he?
Where was that again, Yari? You said One and...
It's the border. Yeah, it's the border town between Wallenstein and Al-Anon.
That's not on the map, so
Let's see.
I guess the Kayan border.
I believe that's what it is. Yes.
Well, this is not captured by the people by the freaking UNT. That's good to know.
Silver lining, I guess.
What was he doing?
In the process of recovering, I'm assuming from fighting off people who would be capturers.
Very well. Thank you. Sorry for bothering you with this. I just Isaac's whole situation kind of made me think about him.
I don't blame you.
You don't have any siblings, do you? It's just you and your mom and a god.
Yes, it's just been me.
What have you been thinking about the whole marriage thing?
I don't know. It seems convenient as to what we need to do right now, but beyond that, I feel like it's a short-term game, and that'd be it.
Sorry, starting again.
No,
If you get the chance to scry on the UNT lady at some point, let's just keep an eye on them. But not right now. I'm just gonna go back to the room.
River. What is your opinion of me keeping the drag rig?
You want an honest opinion?
Yes.
You have a good heart. It's hard for me to believe that a creature, as far as I know, born to be evil can turn good. But if there's someone out there who can do something like that, I believe you can. My only question is how to take care of it. If you're going to drop it on someone else, or if you are going to just remain in your mansion to take care of it, I say keep it. Give it a name. Make sure you take any precautions. But be wary, because you having a dragon egg of any kind, any color, might get the attention of people. And might find the target even bigger than before.
I doubt a target on me could get any bigger.
Yeah, we already have a giant snake god against us, so any petty thief could be anything. Not that difficult.
We have that, and me apparently being a suitor for the king's daughter and possibly becoming the next king. So there's that too.
Yeah.
Dragon is more drop in the bucket, I suppose.
Yeah, you're in a better line to get to that position than me. I already gave up that position when it was taken from me. My family was way too far behind that. I think yours was like, I don't know, 10 steps ahead of us. It was weird to be in that ball, by the way. I forgot how it was.
Not used to something like that?
Back when I was like 7. I had to relearn a bunch of stuff. I'm just imagining what my life would have been if I kept being like that. If anything had happened, maybe I would be the same version as you. Maybe.
Also about that dragon mark. Has anyone else in your family ever had that?
Mel, you're getting a little tinny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Oh, it's good
surprised.
now.
Okay then.
Is that a bit better?
Yep.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Anyone in my family? Not that I remember. As far as I know, I was the first that got that thing. None of my parents had it. Neither my brother. Neither my grandfather or my grandmother. As far as I can remember, again, I was a little young up there. But was pretty much the reason I've been carrying this thing. I don't know where it came from. Oh, why?
Curious is all.
Hmm.
You're getting tinny again. Something off with your mic.
Okay, it's on the Discord at least.
Probably Discord then.
No worries. Yeah.
I see it again.
Sure. I'm just going to just show part of her. I think you say it was by the back and by the shoulder.
At first, it started on your back and it moved up a little bit closer to your clavicle.
So yeah, it's on my shoulder. Like shoulder, between shoulder and neck.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show it.
Could you summon it?
Sure, I'm just going to manifest sanctuary.
All right. As you do so, it almost comes alive, much like how your spirit manifests from that dragonic outlook. This one almost seems primordial, and it's enchanting to look at.
He'll just sit there a couple moments in silence, just appreciating it.
It's a little weird, but I don't know. I kind of liked it. I'm getting used to having it out there. It's just I have been trying to keep this under control for a while. I'm not gonna lie. I would have kept this a little longer in secret if not for you almost dying against that blue dragon. I panicked. Franz called me healing you.
You shouldn't hide this.
Not anymore. That's why I asked you when we start traveling. Are you not afraid of finding people finding out who you are? You said, why would you?
We just talked about it. I already have a target. That can't get any bigger on me.
Yeah, that's
Don't
correct.
worry.
Back there, I was trying to keep the secret to prevent all of this from happening. You know what happened after people found out. But there's no point anymore. And I'm ready to reclaim what was mine.
And you have plenty of people to help you do it.
And I appreciate every single one of you. And once again, I apologize for dragging you into my mess. Also, I stole 10 platinum pieces from your vault.
What?
I need to go to sleep. Bye!
As you open the door, there's Rather Dashing and Lionel sitting right there in the front. Rather Dashing had a nightmare. Can he sleep in here with you tonight?
No.
Slam!
Slam. Let's get you a drink of water, Rather Dashing.
Oh,
He's gonna need a big.
Yes, Lionel, I'm very thirsty.
Oh god. Just gonna slightly open the door again. Just have a good night, Canis. Thank you for the talk.
Good night.
Good night. Walk away.
Listen, I'm here to give the funny, okay? That's my entire fucking
You're
get.
giving the funny.
That's my whole fucking shtick.
You are the funny.
I just saw the picture that you posted in chat. He's so angry.
He's not angry. He wanted the treats.
He's causing problems on purpose.
You hear a slam, you turn the light on, there he is.
By the kitchen.
I was hungry.
The sound spooked him so bad he's catatonic and just sitting there.
Alright. So you guys all begin to rest. And you find yourselves having a rather tough to sleep night, but you managed to get to it finally. As you all wake up, it is the brand new morning. And you can see with what looks like to be a an overtly excited Isaac as he is kind of just like half dressing himself with whatever fabrics the butlers can find for him, and fresh loaves of bread that he has packed in a small satchel, and he is kind of just waiting patiently and almost excitedly.
He sees Helena's looks like she's sipping on some tea or coffee or something, and she actually looks like she's deep in thought.
What's right there?
She takes a sip. You know, I've been thinking about it last night. I do have another theory. What the heck is that? Anyway.
I just
You're not
saw
wrong. You're not wrong.
it feels like somebody fucked up a panorama. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Something that this year said actually bothered me. I was thinking about it last night. And I almost wonder if we do have it wrong.
What you mean?
First time I spoke to him, he said, "Who gave you permission to look at me?"
Well, what a dick.
Yes. The second time I spoke to him, he said it again. Called me a mystery woman of the night at the end of it as well. I'm starting to wonder if he even knew what he did. If he even remembers.
He was being controlled?
Maybe. It just seems odd that he repeated it.
That's kind of not the right mindset for someone who's supposed to be an advisor to a royal. Should be, yammering like that.
Possibly. It's just something to think about, I suppose.
Yeah, we're going to pick that.
Because we might... It is possible he jumped the gun. And
I mean, considering what we've been going through...
Oh, well, yes, we have every right to be paranoid, absolutely. But...
Alright. I almost stabbed one of our friends with a fork.
Lane just gives her a tired look.
I needed to be sure.
If you stab rather dashing, I swear to God, I'll kill you.
I trust Father Dash.
Good, because he's right here next to me. He's a valued member of this team now.
I trust you too.
Is that just president? Where's my chocobo?
Oh, don't worry,
Yes,
River.
he's sitting at the table.
Don't worry, River. I trust you greatly.
I deny that. That's not canon.
Do not worry, River. I trust you greatly.
I will eat this fucking chocobo.
You have arrived at your destination.
But yeah, so you might be right, Elena.
Well, don't want to jump to conclusions. It's just something to consider as well. Don't have any evidence either way, so...
Yeah, besides, whatever they're going down there for, we're gonna be messing with it today, so...
It's true.
Oh, they want the Lumerian, they're gonna get it. That doesn't mean we're going to give it to them, don't worry.
Well,
That's
no,
a
I
thing,
don't really think so, but...
be sure.
Alright.
So, let's really just get together. And let me just grab some extra food for the trip.
You just begin to
Pocket
pile
bacon.
things into your
Pile of
satchels.
I have a barrel with a bunch of meat in
Pockets
it.
full of spaghetti.
7 club sandwiches. All mine.
I can carry a barrel full of food.
One of my favorite Cards Against Humanity cards is Spaghetti. Again?
The biggest, blackest club sandwich.
A $5 foot long.
Here.
Does anyone know where Franz is?
I think he got lost.
That's supposed to be you.
He's currently
Exactly.
he's currently meditating out in the Metilius Garden.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
He seems
He's
to be
off doing
demon
druid
power.
things.
He's doing his tree hugging.
Yeah.
Damn hippies.
Alright, well, let's go fucking awaken someone from another fucking time and place.
Are you ready, Isaac?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Let's go.
All right. So as you guys traverse back to the main castle, and as you begin to enter and are led through via the guards.
Sorry, I put my leftover barrel here.
You just with all the bacon.
I was hitting on the way.
Tries to put it in Lionel's. She tries to put it in Lionel's chest, and he just slaps her hand away. No,
I know.
no.
Let me just grab some.
Grease everywhere.
Fat congeals even in the fucking vacuum of a void.
Mm.
That sounds disgusting.
That does sound disgusting.
All the more reason to eat it now.
Alright.
I was eating on the way here.
On
But
top
you
of-
weren't eating enough.
Might be sick.
As you guys finally reach the bottom of the 18th floor, you are only accompanied by guards today. It seems like everyone's been busy ever since the after party.
The general not here?
The general,
What about the halfling dude?
he is busy with his current experiment.
Yeah, was he not interested when we said we're going to free the Lumerian?
In this endeavor,
I'm sure that would get his attention.
as you do press the guard, he will make it aware to him on this matter.
Can Kenneth or Lionel just message him?
No, let's just fucking do it. No, let's just do it. It'll be funny.
Okay.
What?
All right. So,
Just like walk up to his office with the fucking Lumerian, just like, man, look what you missed.
No, my work.
What were you doing? Fucking paperwork, dumbass.
as you guys find yourself entering once again the howling hallways of whatever is behind these doors, and you enter this cold room. As you enter, it's just draining in this icy feeling. As Isaac begins to like look over the ice, and he really kind of looking back at you, Lionel, and hoping that anything could happen.
Guys, quick question. I know we're all excited to reunite two brothers and all, but do we actually have permission to do this? I forgot.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We
Yeah.
have King's permission.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, Lionel will walk into the room, unload the chest, open it, and mage hand the fundamentium near the ice.
All right. As it pulls out from the chest, immediately the room heats up and thaws as you guys feel the heat just beginning to emanate. However, as you bring it close to the ice, it seems like it's not reacting heavily enough. It is a slow process.
Yeah.
You could potentially try and use the fundamentium with a certain spell that could make this progress much faster. I mean, you'd be here for hours with this thing next to ice.
Okay, well, what's the spell? Because I'll do it.
Is it fireball?
Oh,
It can be... pretty much the fundamentium will be acting as a focus in this matter. Once you use magic, it will expend.
what?
Yeah.
So if I use it
It'll
on,
amplify
if I
it.
use it with a spell, it'll go away.
Yeah. It will act as the equivalent of a dragon's breath.
Cool, I have Dragon's Breath.
Only
Yeah.
in the sense of like, this isn't magically induced dragon's breath. It is an actual force of a dragon behind it.
Okay,
Oh, damn.
well then, I cast Fireball at 5th level.
Oh, what the...
As
I don't.
You all-
No, you didn't let me finish. I cast Fireball at 5th level, add it to the Fundamentium, and keep it stationary in place.
do that?
Mage Hand.
uh
If that's not allowed, then I'll Cloud of Daggers with the Fundamentium.
so for the sake of the argument, as all of you leave the room,
Yeah.
Behind the black...
As
I'm
you-
doing fucking magic. You best leave.
Yeah.
Looking through a tiny screen.
As you guys,
Gordon, you should have worn your HEV suit.
as you all stand outside, in what could potentially be a very powerful situation, as you let the mage hand take it towards the center of the room, and in your other hand you begin the incantation for fireball as it begins to build, and as it leaves your hand and it strikes the fundamentium, this spiked red gem, as it now begins to fill and bellow. It no longer has this solid rigidity. It now becomes like liquid, and then back to solid, and then as it begins to twist and form, you see as it grows in size, and then in the matter of an instant, almost like a crack and break, you guys slam the door and it bursts, and you guys hear the burning flames as they are echoing around, almost like a screaming red dragon now within its own room. And you see as the rocks and cobblestone begin to shake under here, and you see the dust beginning to be let loose from the ceiling and settle all over you like this. And as you guys wait and wait and wait,
I think we killed him.
as you guys
Those water come out of there?
black bellowing smoke now beginning to fall out of the room, and you also feel just a wet floor.
Wow, what happened in here?
A naked mole rat comes out. Hey guys.
Ugh.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh boy.
As the smoke now begins to thin, you see rising from the table, shield in hand,
Hello.
where am I?
Am I in the room with this man?
Yeah, it's you. You're in the front of the group.
Okay. Sir, remain calm. I would let me explain the situation.
He
Please,
looks at
please,
you.
please have a seat while I explain the gravity of the situation.
See him take off the shield, and he puts it on his back. And
Thank
he
you.
hops down from the table. Right. This isn't the first time, I guess. He
Well then.
sits.
Welcome to the future.
How far?
Thousands of years.
We're not exactly certain on the exact date.
You are in the material realm. I basically just like give him like the location and the date of of where we are.
Yeah.
As you say that, he kind of does the math in his head. Okay. That's about 100 years. Oh.
Wow, that's a lot shorter than we believed.
Yeah.
Well, this wasn't the first time this happened.
It isn't?
That you woke up.
That you're
Yeah.
frozen?
Well, yes. I was fighting Orog.
Bless you.
No, a Tiamat cultist.
Ah.
He got mutated somehow, and he started attacking in just this frozen tundra, and I got frozen again. I was frozen before from the fall of Lemuria.
Speak, gently push Isaac forward.
As you push forward this giant robot man with a satchel, and he's holding onto it.
Do you remember a man named Isaac?
Yeah.
He has been transformed, but this is him. I've stepped to the side.
Hi. As you see him get up from the table, and you see him kind of just going over him and inspecting him. It's been a while, hasn't it? Most certainly has. And you see him pull out some bread and give it to him. And he's like, I know that smell anywhere. And they hug. And it's so strangely odd because like you can see the metal is still cold, but the brother is now hot. As you can now see, like, just basically little bellows of steam coming off of them, and the moment is sweet.
We should summon the guard to get him some clothing.
Oh no, he is in clothing. He's in fine armor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, very fine. Like, this is the captain's royal guard armor of Lumeria, and the shield itself is emanating magic from it. As he looks at all of you. Stevenson, Lumeria.
Stevenson?
Stevenson.
All right.
Stevenson.
Yep.
Alright.
All right, Steven. Lionel Middle.
As he begins to now shake all of your hands.
Mm-hmm.
I owe you all a debt. You saved my brother, and you woke me up.
How were you unfrozen last time?
Well, last time it was, I'd imagine, regular ice.
Oh.
Well, before any debts are paid, I'm certain after being on ice for 100 years, you'd like to see the sun again, or maybe civilization.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Okay, there is quite a lot to talk about, so...
Yeah.
Let him enjoy some time before that comes to it.
I agree.
As he stands full height, he's about 6'7". This almost golden blonde hair and these bright reddish eyes. His physique, as the armor is tailored to him, he's probably ripped.
Oh yes, a pillar man.
Yeah. Yeah.
River, I know you're gonna hate this, but remember that barrel of bacon you left up top? We might need to let this man have some food after 100 years.
Yeah.
You should have cooked it with the ice.
So, as he begins to kind of go up through, you now seeing an Obi Trixton at the elevator, breathing heavily.
Oh yeah.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Helena,
Everything!
Helena just emotions to the Lumerian.
Oh, God. Damn it.
I almost blew up the entire floor.
Shush.
Damn it.
Oh, they definitely heard that explosion though.
Yeah.
I am surprised guards didn't come to check that out.
There are two
Billowing
very
up the
frightened guards standing at the end of the elevators that have been following you guys since you got down here.
Oh,
And they just like
Oh, okay.
kept out of the way and now are afraid of Lionel, like physically like disturbed by this guy.
Lionel's that fucking SpongeBob meme. I came to fuck bitches.
So after a little bit of processing, it is a bit of paperwork, mainly because it's just somebody that was once considered dead is no longer dead, and now needs.
Please fill out your name and social
Yeah.
security number.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it goes to
You have no credits.
after going through some processing and just answering some general questions. Obi, as he kind of looks to you guys, like, I'm gonna probably check back with you guys every now and again to get a full read on Mr. Lemuria here. If you don't mind that I stop by the Metilius household, he doesn't seem to have a place to stay, so I imagine he'd probably be better off in your hands, and I just come by and ask him about, ancient technology and all that stuff. Anyway, you wouldn't mind, would you, Mr. Metilius?
No, of course not.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Venus is just becoming a hotel.
Fantastic.
A has-been hotel.
Shut the hell up.
So, I'll come by tomorrow. We'll ask him some questions, try and get him up to speed on things that are going on. So, don't worry too heavily about that. But thank you very, very much. As he looks
Thank
excited.
you for letting us help him.
God, I miss so much. Anyway. Yeah. See, now, after spending hours of having, listening and watching Obi just, fully inspect this man who is invested in looking at, this halfling creature, running around him and getting a full scope of, a pristine human being. As you guys find yourselves heading back to the Metilius household. And, yeah, you guys...
Onward, crispy Lars.
Come on, rather dashing.
Sure, I know. Sure, I
Let's
know.
go on, Bodkins.
Yes,
Oh my god.
yes, Canus.
Jeez.
I do not accept them talking. I
Sins
do
of the
not.
Father. Why'd you make me like this?
Every time Crispy Lars shows up, he's just in the background of every camera shot.
Life is suffering.
Oh god.
That's a good question. Odd Spockins, can you talk too?
Ah! Ah!
You have such a beautiful voice.
Ah!
This is the best. I'm so happy I made these stipulations. Fuck anyone who says otherwise.
I
do not fuck him.
Helena's just slightly scared to talk to her horse.
Let's go, Knuckleham. But if you fucking talk, I'll eat that chicken in front of you.
You have arrived at your destination.
Damn it!
Yeah. As Helena is just like, or not, Helena, I'm not like these impostuous creatures.
I hate him. I'm putting him back.
Bring him back.
I'm de-summoning him. I'm putting this motherfucker back in his place.
No, I love prickly feet.
Yeah, she
Oh,
has to
I
ride
just
on a turtle.
Oz is gonna turn around. Speak for yourself, motherfucker.
What the fuck was that?
Speak for yourself, motherfucker!
No, he just says it in the most monotone voice.
Hi. So, welcome to the material realm. 100 years later.
So, you guys are sitting at the main dining area. All right, so catch me up.
Where are my parents, by the way?
They are currently just meditating with Franz, kind of getting a
Oh, so
finding
they're
him
doing yoga session?
entertaining enough to have conversations with, and having tea and
We should bring your
tend
mom
to
up
the
to speed
gardening.
that we have a 100-year fucking Goliath man coming over for dinner.
We should.
For dinner, he's staying here, apparently.
You know, we really do need to get
How's
our own
mother
place
of
at
the
some
new
point.
house guest? Oh god, it's just some fucked up house, isn't it?
There's so many rooms.
There are so many rooms.
You know,
So,
we should probably consider getting our own place at some point, but in the meantime.
Why should we? It's
Lionel
so
holds up
comfy
his
here.
pebble.
Something more permanent.
Permanent.
This is permanent.
Lionel points at the pebble.
Helena like just kind of shrugs at Cadus. I mean, if you're fine with it, but
My house
What
is
is it? Yeah, wait a minute. Is it your house or your mom's house? Or your
Yeah.
dad's house?
Yes.
Okay. This is so weird.
Welcome to 100 years into the future. We have a small amount of technological bumps from thenceforward. My race was just recently created into this realm because I found that out from the goddess of magic. We are currently at war with a Yanti snake god who wants to destroy everything.
that's fucked
We
up.
are on the brink of disaster because apparently someone believes that every country on the planet doesn't know what happened in Lycia Bay, which is summoning portals to other realms, and now no one knows whose fault it is, and now everyone's on the brink of war.
By the way, it
someone,
was your king that did that.
yeah, by someone who claims to be the king of Lomeria. And we give him the description.
and the name. Hold on, I have the name.
Yeah, we Lomeria.
I have the name.
A lot of things happened in the last 100 years.
And we've
Mostly
been
the last-
globetrotting and realm trotting to find fragments of power to stop all the bad stuff.
We almost died twice.
I killed a red dragon.
Roya Elegantele Lumeria.
You killed the blue one, I killed the red one.
Oh yes, that's fair.
As far as I can tell you, that seems almost impossible in the sense of, well, my king is... He was always a virtuous man, the way I knew him. I guess...
We are not making this up, sir. We couldn't be any more serious.
Yeah, well, basically
I mean-
just informing you. Like one of the main reasons before knowing Isaac to try to contact you was for more information regarding the Lomeria situation.
Well, if I may be a bit presumptuous on this, this might be... My investigations 100 years ago was to try and find Lumeria, in hopes that I could. There was a small hiccup with fighting the Tiamat cultists, and well, some of my research had led to me to find that maybe the country either fell in the ocean or possibly in a pocket dimension. I took as much in any assumption that I possibly could. But Roya was always... I don't know, he was always so... bright-eyed and stern. And his faith in the gods was so... I guess everlasting.
He
But-
wouldn't know what the Favel Mock is, would he?
I'm aware of what the Favel Mock was. I was there for it.
There.
Yes. The start of the Favel Mock was with us. At least as far as what one could assume in history. At the beginning of the Favel Mock was the war with Vecna. When he saw our technology and our magic and the way that we had become ascended, we were sieged and was forced to do battle time and time again against his endless hordes until, I guess, from what I remember, was a blinding light among at the center of our city, and then I guess the energy made the city disappear. It fell, it something, but I fell into the ocean side, and I guess through the massive magic, it froze the oceans, and along with me with it.
Huh. Out of curiosity, well, since you were around at the time, would sorry, I'm just reading my notes real quick. There was a book apparently made during the Feyvelmach that apparently has a text of all evil deeds and information on the gods. Do you happen to know anything about that?
From what if I remember during my time as one of the Royal Guardsmen, there were some texts that were removed from the rest of the world and were entrusted with the country itself. It was kept under very heavy lock and key. I'd imagine if something like that existed, it might exist there.
Well, since apparently your Lumerian king was someone who was good, at least from what you remember, did he have any enemies then?
I'd probably imagine probably one of the major countries, Celsium. Celsians desired our technology just as much as any other, and they're a country of old. When my king returned back after his travels to a budding new kingdom known as Yimnin at the time, meeting the first emperor there, he tried to meet with many of the sultans that resided over Celsian and managed to just either incur their wrath or find disdain.
Wait. Didn't Isaac identify the person we encountered as not his king?
No, the drawing in the book, the art piece that is within the book that you guys showed Isaac is exactly the man that he remember was the king, the first king. The way that Stephen is describing is that the first king of Lemuria had an interaction with the sultans of Celsium, and also the first meeting and the first establishment of Yimnin and its emperor.
Gotcha. So we are talking about the same character. Just making sure.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now I know what he's just around, and apparently he's generating portals to another plane. And these portals are creating abominations from corpses.
Gith Yankee were pouring out.
I think I may know what you guys are talking about.
Oh,
You do?
As he looks at Isaac. Isaac, if you could, tend to the gardens, if you would. As he gets up and leaves and kind of shakes his shoulder and then leaves the house. As he now begins to eye all of you. I don't want him to know about this. And I'm going to make sure that he stays as far away from this as possible. But it seems like since you guys have already had this interaction,
Sorry.
it is within the best interest to note that there was technology that existed that could do this. It was not designed as a weapon, but it was an ancient piece of technology that we had developed and structured as a means to trying to find our way all throughout the universe and the multiverse, and trying to meet with not just only the gods, but also try and make connections with those in the Feywild, being able to keep those within the Shadowfell at bay, try to make sure that the demons and devils never came towards our end of things here on the prime material plane. However, as we began to investigate more and more, that kind of energy that would have been necessary was the equivalent of a god. It was known as the Ragnarok Project.
What?
In order to power it, you needed the power of a god. It's a great deal of magical energy, and theoretically speaking, it could, and this is what my assumption may have been, how Lumeria disappeared.
How can you place omnipotence into a machine?
Kill one?
Did
What
you
kind of a god did he?
We developed means. It was theorized, but not practiced. But at the great cost of an undoubtedly a great deal of gold and materials and platinum, and then using several different pieces of monsters from all across the world, pieces of a Tarask, pieces of rocks and krakens, and then using the gold and then being able to combine all those utilized and very rare materials, had the power to mount a god, which then could use that power in order to power the Ragnarok Project.
Wait, you said this was to connect with other planes? Why is it so complicated? I thought it was sort of planar jumping?
It was to connect the multiverse.
Sorry?
It was to connect the multiverse in one unified way. And
So
While that does sound like a grand project, but for what purpose was there for you to have a giant network that could just give you, let's face it, this would give anyone the upper hand to be able to just spy, infiltrate, dominate, and do whatever they will with any multiverse.
And why do you assume that Lumeria was responsible enough to have this power?
I suppose, from my perspective, the king had a great love for the gods. It didn't matter which one, he just loved them all. And he tried to connect to each and every one of them in a certain way, and his love became obsession.
He tried to become one.
So wait, if he's already using parts of the machine, does that mean he already killed a god?
Potentially, yes.
Remember, oh god, I'm sorry. What was the name of her? What was fucking
Mistra.
her? Mistra. Yeah. Remember, Mistra had to be reincarnated.
Yes, but
What's
also
her first
remember,
form? What was killed?
Well, also remember Vecna disappeared. And not only that, but our little snake god friend is also heavily injured.
So there must have been attempts, yes?
Not so much attempts. If the machine's actually being functionally used at this point, it was successful at the cost of some gods.
Although, if it was successful, then we will be connected already, right?
Or it was a failure that simply injured a handful of gods and created the Lycia Bay incident.
And now the machine is probably on its haywire and is now just opening up portals to anywhere because it's trying to draw energy from nothing.
Or in disrepair, and that's why we haven't had any of these incidents happen again.
I mean, there was another one. But not as big.
But then that means that someone is activating this.
He was there.
To note something. The Ragnarok project was known as something else. It was known as the Sword of Ragnarok. It currently could possess the power to slay a god.
It must be in someone's possession right now.
Did he have a blade with him? He had a weapon?
As far as your memory
Well,
goes, he was just in extremely fine robes and
Oh yeah.
walked like a motherfucker that knew what he was doing.
Fucking deal.
Alright, well, now we have some semblance of what this thing is capable of and what this Lemurian's trying to do. How do we stop all this?
To be quite honest, it could be one of a few things. The first is not something that I would recommend, but trying to find out the exact precise location of Lumeria. And that would mean you would be jumping around the multiverse, trying to find out wherever it is, or even if it's in its own pocket universe. Potentially. And
It may
that...
have been scattered throughout the realms with what happened.
The second option is to wait
But for how long?
for when it shows up again. And if it is by any design, it could appear over another town and make another assault.
Shouldn't we be having this kind of conversation with the royals to prevent a war from happening? Since everyone is so uppity about the Lycia Bay.
I am writing all this shit down in my book.
That's a good point, but
This would definitely be pertinent information.
Yeah, since people are afraid of who, no one knows who made it, so fights are going to start if we don't say something.
Lionel taps his head. Is there no other... Are those your only two options? Because I believe I have just cracked up a third one.
I like to hear any and all recommendations.
Combat someone who believes they're a god with the power of a true god. Thus why we're gathering all the primeval artifacts. They are pieces of the gods, fighting against someone who believes they are one and is trying to combat them with a fake facsimile of the god's power. Then either something equals out, or the true source of power will actually overtake the lesser.
Didn't he almost kill Canis last time?
Yes. Rather easily.
So we just need to get even stronger, yes?
that is
I mean, whenever we get stronger...
I don't
everyone gets
believe. Well, I'm not claiming we're the ones who have to wield this power. I'm simply claiming that what this guy apparently wanted was to become a god because he took his love and made it an obsession. So obviously he's doing it just to gather and not have any actual logic to anything he's doing. However, if we actually channel the way the gods intend to use their power, it's the purest source. And would not the purest source be something to overcome something that's fake?
Is it fake though?
It can kill, but gods are more capable to do more than just kill.
I mean, if what he says is true, he already has killed a couple of gods.
Or at least
Well,
a unicorn.
As we've seen from Mystra, killing a god isn't exactly a final solution, now is it?
But can he kill a primordial?
As he shoots an eye up and looks at you. Are you speaking of the primordial dragons?
Why, yes.
Nice.
Shut up!
Nice.
This is serious!
Nice.
Okay, fuck. Okay, shit.
Perfect. This is what I like, and this is the reason why I keep my phone off, because all these notifications just start coming in.
Good.
Aw, man, I knew my turn people into mice project would get out of hand.
Hey, don't be mean.
turning to shit, Kupo!
Continue.
Okay, back into character.
Overtime.
Yeah.
Right.
We're a little over time, but let's try.
Alright. Why, I suppose I am. And he's gonna, like, slowly, like, reveal, like, his shoulder and show the dragon mark. River?
That might actually be useful.
Fine, yeah, I know. She's going to show hers.
Dragon marks are rare among any race or even just mortals as a whole. They are permission to see the primordial dragons, which are currently either defended by the enclaves, or if you manage to find a tower like one that I was frozen at.
And where do we find the ones for these marks? Mine and River's.
Well, yours, as he looks towards River, is a little bit closer to Earth. I'd imagine the Emerald Enclave. Yours, however, is of no enclave at all, but rather the Midnight Tower, which acted as one of the major gates of Lumeria. It's now in shambles to the north of the Bourdain canyons, and rests there, where you'll be able to meet the Dragon Nox.
So we either go to the Enclave or head north towards one of those towers. Maybe we can ask them for help, yes?
Or at least some idea of what's going on.
I'm actually curious. I thought you were supposed to be born with these things. Where did you get yours, Garo?
Oh yeah, that's right. It just kind of showed up. At least, I probably didn't even notice it was there. But it just kind of...
The dragon marks appear when the last owner of the mark dies.
Look.
Huh?
Oh.
So it's not hereditary?
No, it has nothing to do with who you are in your life. It is about whether or not the dragons find a worthy gatekeeper.
Is there any way to find out who it previously belonged to?
Out of a planet full of billions of people? No.
Yeah, he's...
That's fair.
I mean, you could ask the dragons themselves if you feel fancy to that.
Well,
Nice.
now I'm a little confused as to what our current goal is anymore. If we're looking for these fragments of primeval power, and now you're telling us that we have to find the dragons of the dragon marks, which one is more prevalent?
Well, those are useful tools. You can definitely use them, but they're not really, primordial dragons are, near omnipotent and creators themselves. They are, I would say, with a bit of disdain towards the rest of the mortal plane, mainly because they feel it either maybe an unfinished project, or perhaps they saw that this is a reoccurring cycle within the universe. I'm not exactly sure. There have been a few Lemurians that have kept record of those who had the marks once, and I've done my research. So
I suppose we should continue, but I suppose that means we should continue collecting the pieces and head off to the tower or the enclave in our own time.
I believe
We
so.
do have to deal. We do have a lot to deal with right now, so
I agree. I think we should stick with our current plan.
Mostly the pressing matter of Zahir being after us actively, and the Lemurian king, I guess, doing his own thing right now.
Yeah. Once reports
So-
of areas that people disappearing, or portals appearing.
it seems like we. So if we can take care of Zahir first, then we should be free to head out to find the dragons. Yes.
I am somewhat concerned as to how we deal with Zahir to begin with.
Yeah.
Also
Oh.
worried that are we not just doing the Lemurian King's job for him?
Exactly.
Not to mention, if we quote unquote get rid of Zahir, won't he just reincarnate like a Mistra and just come back? Wait.
Yeah, then that means that wait a minute, that means that the whole experiment's a failure because no one can properly kill a god. They just come back in some new form.
We still don't know what did that, because just keep in mind, I'm still inclined to think that it was Vecna who perhaps was the one that was killed, because he is supposedly gone, and it was supposedly during the whole time that Lemuria disappeared. I feel like that just makes sense, at least as far as time lining up.
Is Lolth not also dead?
Yes, we just don't have all the pieces. We can't assume. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, if you kill a god and they just come back reincarnated, why not just kill Zahir and wait for him to come back normally?
So here's the thing about your guys' history, and you guys are jumping to a certain conclusion here.
Oh.
As far as you guys know, when it comes to, there are 3 gods that were banished from the 9 hells because that they betrayed Asmodeus. During Asmodeus' time on the prime material plane, he had 1 daughter. This is well-known history, as that daughter went to go and ascend to being a god. That god is now Arya Hope. And as you guys know, Arya Hope is the beginner of the Hope family during her time as a mortal. Now, those 3 gods that were banished was Lolth, Grumish, and Zahir.
Okay.
It was until shortly after Arya's birth that Asmodeus then returned back to the 9 hells to usurp his throne once again, and then kicked out these 3 gods and completely ripped away a majority of their power, only for them to live mostly as mortals, but had powers that would be considered godlike on this plane. This is the reason why he's been able to give blessings to his followers, because it's still a godly power that it still exists. However, Lolth put all of her chips on her people, which were already a dying breed, those being the Drows. Grumish is in hiding. Not exactly sure where he is.
He was the orc god, correct?
Yep.
Gotcha.
And Zahir is, as you guys can currently assume, is trying to find a way to heal his power back to what it once was.
So he's not immortal.
And he thinks that's River, and that's why he's getting desperate.
Yeah, with the power of the primordials.
So maybe we should seek out the primordials first instead. Gain some wisdom or something of the sort.
Yeah.
So I mean, they are in the Emerald Enclave.
So that's the history of the gods that had that were removed and kicked out. This is technically general knowledge.
Okay.
Mainly because Arya was the one that killed Lolth. And for some strange reason, the universe decided that Arya should ascend to godhood.
So the Queen of Vale is a straight up descendant of one of the.
Yes.
Of a god. Hello.
I know, but I didn't know that part. That fire.
Yeah.
And what about Vecna?
Vecna, from what the history books can tell, he disappeared during the time of the Favomach. The information that you're getting that during the time of the war, if you can imagine, and this might be even Steven's assumption, that when Lumeria disappeared, it was either in battle with Vecna, and if Lumeria disappeared, he became incorporeal, and he was split and shattered across the entirety of the prime material plane. The echoes of the wraiths being that figure.
Okay. So he has not been able to use the machine? Because none of the gods that we are counting have been due to a known reason of that. I don't know. We might need to think about this then.
Yeah. Personally, I still think we should deal with the current problem that we have been dealing with.
Once we get Zahir out of our backs.
Yes.
Well, I can definitely assist in that. I mean, I was once a captain of the Royal Guard.
We do need to arrange a meeting between you and the Royal, especially the King.
Definitely doable, considering that I met the last one.
Well, that's good to hear. Get him on the up and up, and hopefully more of the other royal courts should be as well.
You know, considering that this whole portal Lycia Bay thing is kind of tied together, and that's why everybody is so up in arms and pointing fingers at everybody, I almost half wonder if that might help things.
Yeah, like as soon as if you can meet with the King and the other royals from the other areas, we can understand that the whole Lycia Bay thing is not one of, well, people we know at fault.
It's not any of the It's not any of the neighboring kingdoms. It's a fucking mad idiot who thinks he's a god.
Yeah, and that can prevent the war, at least.
Or at the very least, calm it down for a time.
Everyone needs to work together right now.
So I guess, Stephen, that's your job then, to assist us in trying to stop a entire war while countries just get swallowed up by voids.
I've probably dealt with worse. I mean, I was frozen in ice for 5,100 years. Anyway.
Oh, damn.
From the looks of it, you managed to keep your sanity.
And your good
well,
looks.
thank you. Us Lumerians are pretty resilient. Well then, onward to battle, I guess.
Onward.
Onward.
Onward. And that is where we're going to go ahead and leave tonight.
Rather dashing.
Onward!
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 No,
No, I hate it.
I reject that reality.
Oh God. So yeah, that's tonight. Oh my God, got over so much stuff. We had so much stuff.
That was chunky.
Oh God.
We got some delicious lore.
So much lore.
Oh God.
Feast off this for a week.
Lionel.
Oh.
Actually, Lionel and Garu, your country was brought up about the first emperors. Something comes to mind about that.
Oh?
Yeah, do a history check. I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot that you guys needed to do that. I wrote it down.
21.
21?
10.
10? Okay. Zito, I will write you about the slight history of the first emperor of Yimnan.
Please share. Garu is fucking dumb. He doesn't know it.
Sure.
Yeah, so fun.
They don't
fun,
teach history.
fun story about all that stuff. All right, so hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for coming by as always here on Sunday. I look forward to us coming back next week. See where we go in this multiverse now, as you guys have a slight access to that.
Who knows?
Oh shit.
I want to go to Jumanji Land.
I'll be right back.
Like, you're gonna go talk to Primeval Dragons. No, I'm going to Jumanji Land. Fuck you.
We want to go to Jumanji. We want to bring Dwayne Johnson the Lemurian.
That's something I'm definitely looking forward to next week. See what you guys do. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and hey, as always, see you next Sunday. Love you all. Have a good night,
See
everyone.
you next
Bye.
time.